Hello, good evening, and you're very welcome back to Shelbourne Park. Here we are live once again, and tonight we bring you the first batch of second round heats of the 2021 BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. We've got some of the country's fastest trackers in action tonight. We have, of course, Jack's Little Thing, who was so impressive here last week when clocking a fastest of the Derby 29.10. We also have the likes of the Machine to look forward to. We have Priceless Jess, so many great trackers, and of course Explosive Boy and the likes will be here tomorrow night again from 7:30. So I'll just quickly say hello to our commentator for this evening, Ian Fortune. Ian, looking forward to a cracking evening?
Yeah, really looking forward to it, Barrow. I suppose the opening round sort of almost serves as shadow boxing. Okay, one or two of the contenders landed one or two more heavy blows than some, but all in all, it was just a great way to kick off proceedings. And now the Derby really starts tonight, down to 96, and when it gets down to 48, you can start taking things seriously. Of course, 96 is still serious, but yeah, really looking forward to a couple of very short ones tonight and tomorrow night. But in general, very competitive racing. Can't wait for it.
Yeah, some top class racing, as Ian did mention. 96 will be whittled down to 48 over the next 48 hours or so. So we have a couple of minutes before the off of our first race here this evening. We're kicking off at 7:55 approximately. First heat of the Derby will get underway at about 8:10. So we will show you a couple of video clues from last week. We will start with obviously heat number 2, where there's plenty of early pace in this heat, to say the least. And the dog we're going to look back at is Droopy's Good, who runs from trap 5 this evening. Last week he ran in heat 14 from trap 1. He's some stunning early pace, this dog. Faces a tricky draw tonight in trap 5, but let's have a look at how he ran last week from trap 1.
Racing, good start by trap 1 up the inside. Droopy's Good took a flyer, one or two of them charging traps. Gay Time Milo is going to turn second, 3 Frontline Star next, then comes Ballymac Belvolt, but it is Droopy's Good. He's on by 5, 6 lengths to in second 5. Gay Time Milo, 3 Frontline Star, and Ballymac Belvolt starting to wind up his challenge, but it's still trap 1. Droopy's Good, can he see it out? Gay Time Milo draws a little closer, but it's still Droopy's Good. On to the final bend, he's all out. 5 Gay Time Milo coming fast, so too Ballymac Belvolt. Gay Time Milo gets there. Droopy's Good was second, and 2 Ballymac Belvolt third. The winning time 29.90.
So there we've seen Droopy's Good running from trap number 1. He faces a tricky draw on trap 5 tonight. A heat packed with early pace. We have Sing Along Sally in 1, Jazz Toes in 2, Glen Quan Pat of course in 4, and Droopy's Good himself in 5, as long with Nitro Johnny in 6. Ian, Droopy's Good does face a tricky draw tonight. It's safe to say Nitro Johnny, I think he's one of your best bets on the card this evening. He's going to have a great draw with the likes of Droopy's Good and Glen Quan Pat moving left early.
Yeah, we're taking it for granted that group Droopy's Good will cut left. He did in the past when he was drawn out in 3 and 4. He is a bit more experienced now, but I've taken a chance that he will cut for the inside, and if he does, I think Nitro Johnny, with the freedom of Shelbourne Park on the outside, might just be good enough to take advantage. Sing Along Sally also very well drawn in trap 1. I was just actually speaking to Pat Buckley just a matter of minutes ago. He probably says she probably needs another run, but she's very well in herself. So if she is in need of a run, they were the two that are likely the clear run. I thought Nitro Johnny might just be, certainly at the prices he was available during the week, might be the best bet of the night.
Yeah, it's a fascinating heat. Glen Quan Pat done nothing wrong with the feet last week. He was just nabbed close home by, it was Razzle Dazzle Peaky, who's quite a strong stayer himself, so if he can get loose on the bunny again, he has a big chance tonight. But it's a good betting heat, quite open. It's 2-1 Sing Along Sally, as Ian just mentioned. He was speaking to Pat Buckley. He said she may just be in need of the run, so you might get a little bit bigger about her. Next in is Nitro Johnny at 3-1. So that promises to be a cracking heat to kick us off. That's heat number 1. Of course, it is race number 2. So we'll kick on to our second heat of the evening. It is race number 3, and the one I'm going to have a look at here is, of course, Jack's Little Thing. He ran from trap number 4 last week when he clocked a near perfect 29.10. Track wasn't running absolutely amazing, but that run was the fastest of the opening round by some way. So let's take a look at him running here from trap number 4, Jack's Little Thing.
Racing, good start again by Jack's Little Thing, absolutely professional. 6 at Lacazette in second spot, then comes 1 Trap Joey, but it is trap 4, Jack's Little Thing on by 3.5, 2 in second, 6 at Lacazette, then comes 1 Trap Joey, he'll be staying on, but it is all about 4. Jack's Little Thing at this point has a commanding advantage, 16.96, he's gone under 17, sensational running by Jack's Little Thing, clear off the final turn. This is a real Derby challenger, wins well from 6 at Lacazette, who ran a blinder. Third is Trap Joey. The winning time 29.10. Well, that's what.
So a really exciting performance there by Jack's Little Thing, clocking 29.10. out and gone is the phrase. When you look at Jack's Little Thing's last couple of winning lines of form, he's gone 29.50, 29.40, 29.30. He clocked 29.10 last week. So you're wondering, where does the improvement stop? He's still only in August 19, so he's literally just 2-year-old this month. There still could be more to come. And when he traps like that, there's no flaws in him at all. He's good early pace. He flies down the back straight, and look, he stays strongly. He's around about a 3-to-1 on chance here this evening. 3-to-1, you wouldn't mind getting a bit of 3-to-1, but it's 3-to-1 on for Jack's Little Thing. He runs at 8 tonight in heat number 2. So the third heat, we're going to look now at a dog called Carrageen North, who ran from trap 1. Also keep an eye on Ballymac Art, who runs from trap number 4. They reoppose here tonight in traps 2 and 3. Ballymac Art led all the way last week from trap number 4, but also keep an eye on trap 1, Spinosaurus, and Carrageen North, who ran in trap 2. So we'll take a look at it from the start here. Ballymac Art makes all from 4.
Racing, good start by trap 1 up the inside. That is Carrageen North, now 4 going up well. Ballymac Art, and on the outside 6 Dark Devil, but on the bend 3 Ballymac Kingdom in a spot of bother at the tail of the field, and it is 4 Ballymac Art as Kennel Companion that leads by 2 lengths to in second. 5 Stories Direct and 6 Dark Devil. Ballymac Kingdom not making a move at present. It's still 4 Ballymac Art that leads. Stories Direct trying his best to bridge the gap in second, but Ballymac Art, she's plucky out front and she keeps on digging. Ballymac Art will score. Second is 5 Stories Direct, and Carrageen North runs a big race in third. The winning time 29.66. A good run by Ballymac Art.
So Ballymac Art, we know how quick she is. That was her first run over 5.50 there last night. She was exceptional from trap 4. Out and gone. She's been sprinting down in Dundalk recently. She showed all her early pace there to get herself in front off the second bend. But keep an eye on trap 1 here, Carrageen North. Only a very young dog on October 19 for Thomas Buggy. You can see him there. He's back in fourth. He's good 5 or 6 lengths off the lead as they hit the third bend. He does make a bit of ground into the third bend. Still, he's not the finished article by no means at all. You can see him there. He doesn't run the bends great, but turning for home, he certainly does finish well up the inside of trap 5, and he runs on well into the escape behind Ballymac Art. So he might be one to watch at a decent price later on. That is Carrageen North. So now on to the next heat we have tonight. It is heat number 4, race 5 on the card, and one we're going to look back here at is Priceless Jet. Runs a blinder here against Ballymac Fair One. You can see Priceless Jet running from traps number 6. He finishes second behind trap 1, Ballymac Fair One.
Racing, good start by trap 1, Ballymac Fair One up the inside, and 6 Priceless Jet going up fast into the bend. Ballymac Fair One from 6 Priceless Jet, they bump, and Ballymac Fair One goes on, but Priceless Jet is right on his heels. Back in third 2 Jack's Lockup, then comes 4 Billy's Diva, but down the far side, and Ballymac Fair One under severe pressure from 6 Priceless Jet. A gap in third spot to trap 2 Jack's Lockup, who denies Billy's Diva, but out front, and it is trap 1, Ballymac Fair One. Priceless Jet seeking the inside line, can't get it, and Ballymac Fair One leads to the line, scores from in second 6 Priceless Jet, and 3 Razzle Dazzle Annie. The winning time 29.67. Ballymac.
Yeah, big one run there last week by Ballymac Fair One. Ian, I'll bring you in on this one. I think connections of Ballymac Fair One and Priceless Jet would have been happy with the way they ran last week. Both ran blinders there, and at the heat this evening you can see they had just plenty of early pace in their heat with the likes of Mountain Maestro, Deadly Samurai and Stories Direct. I think it's whatever gets a run after those first. I think Priceless Jet make it the first run after these down the back straight tonight.
Yeah, I'm of the opinion the machine might find himself in a good pitch tonight, judging by the fact that he's already in trap 1. He doesn't have to worry about getting there. Mountain Maestro did go up relatively straight from 1 last week, but just edged off in the corner to give Angry Dad a bump. So I just wouldn't be surprised if Angry Dad did find himself, or beg your pardon, the machine found himself in a nice pitch off the second bend. Priceless Jet, on the other hand, has to get around the likes of Deadly Samurai, Stories Direct, and if he doesn't clear them, all of a sudden he could have the likes of Amadeus Luke, Mountain Maestro, and even the machine up his inside. I think I'll go for the machine.
Yeah, I think I would be expecting Priceless Jet to sort of pass them down the back straight. I can't see him going up with the likes of them early, but it promises to be a really interesting heat. Okay, on to heat number 5. We're going to look back now at last week. Broadstrand Ryan, who also raced against the machine last week. Broadstrand Ryan ran from trap 3 last week. The machine ran from trap 4. Keep an eye on both of them here if you can.
And racing, good start by trap 3. Broadstrand Ryan, the machine, takes a bump at boxes from Skywalker Silla, but it's out front 3. Broadstrand Ryan, who's motored into a clear advantage, leads down the back straight from in second spot. Trap 1, Jazz Toes. Then comes 2, Skywalker Silla. Now the machine is absolutely motoring into third spot, but it's still 3. Broadstrand Ryan, he's a slightly, but he's still 3.5 clear. 4, the machine is absolutely motoring now into second spot. It's Broadstrand Ryan, the machine probably won't get there. It's 3, Broadstrand Ryan from the machine back in third. It's tight between 1, Jazz Toes, and 2, Skywalker Silla. The winning time 29.66.
Yeah, 29.66. Ian, it was a big run from the front from Broadstrand Ryan. Obviously all eyes were drawn to the machine because of the pace he showed down the back straight, but I don't think Johnny Lenihan's dog got enough credit. Out and gone, and he stayed very well up the home straight.
He looked in the early days that he really would be a 600-yard greyhound and running. Since he came to Shelbourne Park, he's discovered this early gear. Good starter, has the pace into the bend, motors down the far side. His problem at Shelbourne has been actually the third bend, but you can see here he does prop a little bit, but it's much more fluent than we've seen in the past. I just think that Ballymac Fair One is very well drawn in trap 3 as well. I think he'll go up straight. He does have good early speed. He's very strong down the back. I think these two could have a right tussle, and if they happen to be side by side at the third bend, which is very possible, every chance that Ballymac Fair One might just be a bit more fluent at that point and go to the front. Catch Me Flying can't be ruled out. This is far from a two-dog affair. Catch Me Flying is exceptionally fast himself, but it's a very, very interesting heat. I can see why Broadstrand Ryan is the favourite. He's the most likely pace setter, but I think Ballymac Fair One might just come on for last week's run. I think he's a really talented greyhound.
Yeah, 11-8 each of 2, the top 2, and 7-2 Catch Me Flying. Ballymac Wild runs this evening in race number 7, which is heat 6. He ran last week from trap number 2. Proper warrior, this dog. Let's see how he got on last week. Ran from trap 2.
Often racing, good start by trap 1, Tostar Gaza in second spot 2, Ballymac Wild, then comes 4 on their outside, Glory Katie in 5 improves Nitro Johnny, but Ballymac Wild escapes traffic, goes round second to 5, Nitro Johnny, but there goes Ballymac Wild, runs riot down the far side, goes on by 3 lengths, BoyleSports King challenging for third with Glory Katie, but it's out front, trap 2, Ballymac Wild, they won't catch this fellow, 5 in second, Nitro Johnny, BoyleSports King running a fine race, back in third, but up front, and it's Ballymac Wild, BoyleSports King is second and 5, Nitro Johnny third. The winning time 29.66, but real derby.
That was the 16th win of Ballymac Wild's career. He's won some amazing races around here, the Shelbourne Open 600. He's been a Derby finalist in Toaster. Let's look at him here from trap 2. Tonight he faces possibly an easier challenge going to the bend. The likes of Droopy's Wyatt shouldn't trouble him. Derby's the Light shouldn't trouble him. Scooby Princess can flash out on occasions. I think he's a great chance to lead, and maybe he was a bit of 8-11 about him earlier this week. 8-11 could look a good price if he leads in the early yards. I can't see anything coming from behind him. I know Derby's Delight is a strong star, but look, Ballymac Wild has won some top class races over 600, and he's very, very hard to pass once he's out in front. Scooby's Princess is next in the betting, 2-1 in this heat, but I will be siding with Ballymac Wild in heat number 6. On to race number 8 this evening. This will be heat number 7 of the Derby, and one we're going to look at here is trap number, beg your pardon, Mallogs Mardy runs here from trap 5. He beats Grangeview 10. Grangeview 10 came in as a Grangeview Mac, I beg your pardon. Grangeview Mac came in as a reserve in trap 3 and showed stunning early pace. Mallogs Mardy ran from trap 5. Watch the early pace of trap 3.
Hair up behind traps. Racing, good start by trap 5, Mallogs Marley. There goes 3 up his inside. Grangeview Mac leads into the turn. Grangeview Mac from 5, Mallogs Marley. Oh, traffic in behind. 1 goes third, Kilbannon Psycho. But it is Grangeview Mac has opened up by 3 lengths down the back straight to 5, Mallogs Marley. Grangeview Mac still in front for Pat Guilfoyle. Leads off that third bend, but now 5, Mallogs Marley trying to draw closer. It is Grangeview Mac, but he's all out. Here comes 6, Mallogs Marley. Grangeview Mac digging in, but Mallogs Marley will get there from 3, Grangeview Mac, and 1 in third, Kilbannon Psycho. The winning time 29.71.
Yeah, big run there by Mallogs Marley, also the runner-up Grangeview Mac. Ian, I'm going to get you to have a look at this heat again and keep an eye on trap number 2 here, Spinosaurus. I think this one might have a chance tonight. Not the best away, but once he passes the 5-2-5 line, he's starting to show good pace into the bend, and he's completely taken out there. He loses his footing, and all of a sudden the race is gone. He's maybe 10 lengths behind Grangeview Mac at this stage. I think he runs on to be beaten maybe 5 or 6. He qualified very well, and I think he's a young puppy that could run well tonight from trap 1.
Yeah, he's a nice type. He's definitely improving, but I think it's probably coming too soon from still. He could be one for the Juvenile Derby a little bit later next month, of course. But yeah, really nice type. But I'm a big fan of Grangeview Mac. I actually nominated him as my next best tonight. I think in a heat where there's loads of early speed, if he does head Kimiko in the opening yards, which is very possible. Kimiko is not the greatest of starters. You know, when I say not the greatest of starter, he's a bit inconsistent at the start. He can start, but I think Grangeview Mac is likely to go up fast from trap 2. And if he leads those around him, I think he'd be very hard to pick up.
Yeah, I accidentally called him Grangeview 10. He is a half-brother of Grangeview 10, and he sort of has a similar run style to Grangeview 10. Plenty of early pace, lovely-looking fawn dog. Then on to the final heat this evening. Ian Fortune, I wasn't copying you. I had these notes down before I looked at this. I said to myself, because it's the getting out stakes, I'll put one up at a big price, and I put up Cricket Bell. I believe you had him tipped up as well earlier on. I heard you quoting a bit of 16 to 1. Let's look at him run here last week. He runs from trap number 3. He's a big finish in him. Keep an eye here on Cricket Bell from trap 3 last week.
Sure, hair up behind traps. Racing, good start by one up the inside. Macho Pride and 2 Angry Tornado. There goes 6 Reshore on the outside, but it is Macho Pride that leads him into the back from in second 2. Angry Tornado with 6 Reshore on the outside, but still trap 1 Macho Pride sets a strong gallop. 6 Reshore has moved into second spot, and Angry Tornado next. Then comes the reserve Cricket Bell trying to finish well, but out front, and it's still trap 1 Macho Pride keeps on finding up front and will score from in second. 6 Reshore. Back in third was 3 Cricket Bell. The winning time 29.56. Tremendous performance.
Yeah, he's a big finisher in Cricket Bell, and hopefully he can get a run tonight. He was stopped at a crucial stage there during the third bend last week, but maybe if we're struggling a bit of 16 to 1, he could get people out this evening. Yeah,
I tipped it up on the BoyleSports chat Zoom room earlier in the week, just at a massive price, because as you watch him down into the third bend, he was starting to pick up a bit of pace and got stopped in his tracks. There's a chance tonight with some real strong runners in the race that he'll turn a little bit closer, but I'd fully expect All About Ted to improve for last week's run, and I think he'll take some stopping. But I thought Cricket Bell at 16 to 1 was the wrong price. You don't see him disappearing into the escape. He has other things in his mind after the line, but he's a very fast type. He'll be staying on very strongly, and just at 16 to 1, you know, if there was any little bit of traffic in front, he could be thereabouts at the finish. But the same could be said for the likes of Monbeg Zinzan and Kildare and Pearl, who both be finishing well. Epic Hero is not really producing his best as yet, and Owen Spice did show signs of return to his top form last week, but probably need another run, and you know, All About Ted on the outside, probably the one to beat.
Yeah, it definitely is a race that lacks early pace. I went for Epic Hero myself as I'm in that. I think he might get a decent run at the inside. Although 1 is not as perfect trap, I think, as I say, there's not much early pace in it, and he clocked 28.28 in a recent trial here last week, suggests all the ability is still there. Speaking of naps, Mr. Fortune, you find yourself in a precarious position at the bottom of the naps table, as we can see there on the screen. I'm happy with that. That makes good reading for me. Rob, we will go through Rob's selection. So Rob does nap Macho Pride tonight. Macho Pride runs in heat number 7. He runs from trap 4. He's a 9 to 4 shot. Ian, Macho Pride went up well last week from trap 1, did move to the middle. Trap 4 will probably suit him better. Your next best, Grangeview Mac, is inside him. I think whatever one of them leads to the bend is going to take all the stopping.
Yeah, but it's not a 2-dog race at the corner by any stretch of imagination. Kimiko can go up well. The dogs in the middle also can go up well. Penny Lane, beg your pardon, Triangle Hugo went up well last week. Even Coombe Leo and Sizzler on the outside can go up strongly. I just tipped up Grangeview Mac because of the price. I'm tipping a price. It's not, you know, short price ones like Rob did last week. So I went for Grangeview Mac. I thought 7 to 2 was very generous indeed.
Million, Ian. So Rob has Sing Along Sally as his next best. We heard Pat Buckley thinks she may just need the run. My own selections, I went for Epic Hero. We just spoke about the heat. There's not a lot of early pace in that heat. Epic Hero, he was a St. Ledger winner. He's a really, really pacey dog. Didn't set the world alight here last week, but his trial previous to that, he clocked 28.28 in a solo trial, which suggests all the ability is still there, and that is the main thing. He's a good draw in 1 tonight. Spinosaurus, we've seen him on the clip. He's a young pup for Owen McKenna. I just thought he ran well last week behind 2 early paced sorts in Grangeview Mac and Mallogs Marley. I think he can come out better drawn in trap 1. And look, he's a big price. He's 10, 12 to 1. There was a bit of 16s about him during the week. That's being snapped up. Not by me. I missed the boat there, but I think he might run well at a decent price later on. And then the last one of Ian Fortune's is Nitro Johnny. We spoke about this heat earlier on. He's very well drawn with the likes of Droopy's good. tending to move to the inside along with Grangeview Max. So he ran well here last week for Graham Holland, and he looks to have the freedom of Shelbourne Park. So that's all our selections tonight. We hope we can find you a winner or two. So we're not far away from our first race here this evening. It is a novice 750 race, and we will go through the runners here for race number 1. This is a race, of course, for greyhounds that have never ran over 6 bends. They come from a wide range of grades over 5 to 5. If they're running in 5 to 5, currently traps 1 and trap 6 would be open grade. 2 and 5 are 1 grade below that at A4 grade, and 3 and 4 are a further grade below that at A2. On the best form, trap 4, JT Jet would come out on top, and he's the one I will side with in this heat. I'll just start the runners before we go on to parade. Trap 1, Artax for Paul Cronin. He's no look in the Derby here last weekend. He's a member of an extremely fast litter that includes Jack's Little Thing and Swords Maestro. They were 2 stars of the first round. He's no slouch himself, this fella. He's won 4 out of 9. He's definitely a better dog off the front, and to me, he will need to lead to be seen at his best. I'm not too sure he will stay the 750 trip. So the runners are just about to go on parade here for race 1 at Shelbourne Park. I'll pass you over to Ian Fortune for the parade.
-1. Well, folks, contest here this evening. It's a novice 750. The first on parade is in the red jacket. Artax for Paul Cronin, a son of Druppies Sydney and Limini. Well housed in the fence, this fellow too. Knock Navarre, Keelan O'Kane, a son of Sparta Maestro and Crag Brian View. 4 is JT Japan. Paul Hennessy for John Turner, son of Taylor Skye and Badminton made an interesting recruit to the staying ranks. 5 Phase the Boss for Shay Campbell, a daughter Tullamaree Acton, Druppies Smasher. And out in 6 you have Tinnock Solace, owned by Michael Devereaux, a daughter of Patsy Sabbath and Glen Lee. It's your opener. They're on the way to traps. Not long left, folks, to place your bets. 1.5 laps of the circuit ahead of them.
Yeah, thanks a million, Ian. So we will kick back onto our running through the runners here. And trap 2 is next up. Knock Navarre for Keelan O'Kane. This fella's been noticed finishing well around Dundalk on occasions, and he posted a good effort around there August the 10th. Looked as though the step up in trip would suit him when flashing home and racing clear into the escape around Dundalk July the 27th. It's a Shelbourne Park debut tonight. Others have better 4-bend form. Trap 3, Coomagoo from the famous Kildallan Maid bloodline, related to many star performers. His dam actually has 29.58 around here over the Derby trip. Only the 2 wins to his name, and both have come in A3 company. He's 4 Shelbourne Park starts to date, and yet they yield a top 3 finish. It's a tough task for him here. JT Japan, your likely favourite, definitely the best of these over 4 bends on his day, as we've seen on the second start at Tralee when he won in 28.33. You can see there on your card. He has clocked 29.61 for 550, and he's also won over 600 yards here at Shelbourne Park. This represents a big drop in class from him, and a level start could well see him suffice in this contest. He's likely to stay the trip. As I said, he's won over 600 yards. Trap 5 then for Shay Campbell, Phase the Boss, another one here with a top pedigree, full sister to Sing Along Sally, who we'll see shortly, and a half sister to Glengar Bale. Look, booked for second around Dumbrow on the 14th of August, but finished strongly close home and 1 going away. Her dam won over 8 bends. I'm not sure how the 6-bend trip will suit this lady, but we will soon find out. And finally, out in trap 6 we have Tinnock Solace for Michael Devereaux. This one's closely related to trap 3, also comes from the Kildallan Maid breeding, and has a nice card with 5 wins from 12 runs. Personal best around Newbridge late last month when winning an A1 contest by just a 12.5 lengths. Followed up a week later over 550 when getting up close home. Dam stayed well. This trip is likely to suit. Well drawn. 4 of his 5 wins have come from trap number 6. So JT Japan, even money I can hear being called about in the ring. Ian, it's a fascinating contest. You have always told me that if every race was won over 6 bends, you'd be a millionaire. So let's hear what you have to say about race number 1 here at Shelbourne Park.
No pressure. Listen, in normal circumstances, you'd be strongly fancying trap 4 JT Japan. But this is a greyhound that had a career-threatening injury. I'm not sure he's quite the greyhound he once was. It'd be interesting to see how well he runs. But at odds on, I think I'll be looking on an interesting runner in trap 6, Tinnock Solace out of Glenlee. A few of them have stayed the trip. And, you know, it's just 1 or 2 lines of form of this one's cards suggest they might get the trip at prices, maybe a nibble on the bottom. But no, I think I'd be just a bit careful about JT Japan. He always looked like he'd stay 6 bends, but as I've said, he's had very few starts since coming back from a career-threatening injury, so you just be concerned.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. I watched a couple of runs of Knock Navarre trap 2 here recently down in Dundalk, and he certainly is a dog who finished with a flurry. He was well off the pace down there on the 27th of July. You can see by his sectional, 272 sectional around Dundalk, was always going to leave him with plenty to do. He didn't run the second bend great there, but he flew home. He was only beaten in neck and went clear into the escape, so he's one that could run well. As we mentioned earlier on, Artax for Paul Cronin, member of that litter with Swords Maestro and Jack's Little Thing. Only the 9 starts and 4 wins. He could lead up around the inside here, and if he does lead, he's won well over 5.75 here. He's 28.79 on his card, 28.69 on his card, so could be hard to peg back. I can still hear Ted Hegarty roaring even money about the favourite JT Japan. It's good to see a couple of bookmakers down there. I make it maybe 6 bookmakers down there this evening, so good to see things coming back to normal. So punters are looking to get off to a fast start here with JT Japan at even money. I'm going to side with them at even money, but I wouldn't be going all in this early on the card. Trap 5 we mentioned, Faze the Boss. She's well bred, being by Droopy Smasher, a bitch who's won over 8 bends around here in the past, so promises to be a good race. We top and tail the card this evening. Actually, we've another good novice 750. I think it's the 10th race this evening with some good performers. I like Fiora Blake in that. Also Droopy Sadio has plenty of pace when things go to plan, but he only has the 1 win from 12. Anyway, that's for later on in the card. I'm going to side with Trap 4 here to get us off to a winning start. Ian, over to you for race number 1.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. As you can see, they are being placed in traps. 1.5 laps of the circuit ahead of 750 yards. It'll take about 42 seconds. All in now. This is the opening race in your card here this evening. It's a novice 750. And the hare in motion, the runners in 1 Artax, 2 Knock Navarre, 3 is non-runner, 4 JT Japan, 5 Faze the Boss, and 6 is Tinnock Solace. The hare well on the way now for this opening contest here tonight at Shelbourne Park. Racing, good start by 4 JT Japan, leads into the opening turn. 1 Artax up his inside, then comes Trap 5 Faze the Boss, but the odds on favourite are even money favourite has gone to the front, and he's opened up by 3 lengths to in second spot 5 Faze the Boss, then comes 6 Tinnock Solace, but JT Japan really is putting a pace to the race here. He's on still by 4 lengths to in second spot. Trap 5 Faze the Boss, then comes 6 Tinnock Solace, but JT Japan continues to lead down the far side. About 5-6 clear now, 6 in second. Tinnock Solace showing plenty of dash to go second, but for JT Japan seems to have matters well in hand off the final turn. JT Japan not stretching on, but staying on well enough to land the spoils here from 6 Tinnock Solace. Back in third was 5 Faze the Boss. The winning time, it's a very quick 41.46. Tremendous first time start over 6 bends for JT Japan.
Thanks a million, Ian. It's a winner for the studio. 1 from 1. I must apologise, I didn't give you Trap 3 as a non-runner there, but let's take a look at it from the start. JT, I'll try that again. JT Japan takes a flyer from Trap 4, and once he led, he was always going to be very tough to pass. We had mentioned he'd won over 600 yards here. That's probably the furthest distance you can win before going into a novice race. Of course, a 620 in Dundalk, you can do that too. But once he led down back straight, as I say, won over 600 yards. He's 5 lengths clear of Trap 5 Faze the Boss. Tinnock Solace, he ran well in Newbridge there recently. He closes the gap into the third bend. But when we look at the winning time of 41.46, it's going to be near on impossible to come from behind in 41.46. As Ian said, the dog had an injury earlier on in his career. His record of 3 from 23 sort of tells you that but he has been running in top company. But in 41.46, once he led, he was always going to be hard to pick up, and that's a good spin.
It's a good spin. Nice display. He was, funny enough, over 4 bends. He was always a dog that was a relatively decent trapper. Often struggled to stay or to hold his pitch into the opening corner. But tonight, against the company he was up against, he found it easy enough to stay in front. And once doing so, he was always going to stretch them. And he did that. Perhaps not absolutely flying home. Tinnock Solace, I thought, ran a fine race in second spot, but a good winner in the form of JT Japan. Certainly not the last time he'll win over the trip. You see him here clearing the inside runners. Pretty handily. I thought Artax was very well drawn. I'm surprised how easily he gave up his position. Instead, 5 Faze the Boss, of course a daughter of the brilliant Droopy Smasher, moving second, but it was Tinnock Solace back in third at this point that was to emerge as the nearest challenger to JT Japan. But at this point, there's just a moment or two here of passing sort of halfway down the back straight where it looked like maybe the stride was beginning to shorten, but no, he maintained it all the way to the winning line. Wins comfortably in 41.46. It's what you want from a dog making his debut over 6 bends, away and gone, make every inch and getting to the line. I'm sure Paul Hennessy more than happy.
Thanks a million, Ian. We did see another Paul Hennessy inmate, Priceless Jet, make his debut over 750 recently, and I can tell you he didn't make a debut like that, and he's turned out to be a star over the distance. Still holds a place in the Derby, and I think he could go close later on. So a nice one there for John Turner and Paul Hennessy. Kicks off the studio with a winner as well with JT Japan. So you might have noticed tonight that we are kicking off slightly later. We're on air at 7:30 and our first race at 7:55. The reason for this is, it's a good reason I suppose, we're getting back to some sort of normality. The restaurants are opening on a phase by phase basis all around the country, and GRI Ireland have put on a little clip to show this effect. It's a well put together piece. Just take a look at this. And then she'll be ready to go for Well, there you go, and hopefully that's a sign of things getting back to normal in the near future. It's a well put together piece. Just a couple of non-runners to get you up to date on in tonight's racing. Of course, Billy's Diva in heat number 5 doesn't take her place, picked up a small injury. She's out of trap 2, no reserve in trap number 2. And also, when we're off air tonight, race number 12, trap 5, Headley's Turbo is out, and that will be replaced by reserve Massachusetts. So there are your 2 changes on the card this evening. Apologies for not getting you the first change in time. So we're on to race number 2 here. It is, of course, our first heat of the second round of the 2021 BoyleSports Greyhound Derby. Ian and Rob take each other on here with their next best, with Nitro Johnny and Sing Along Sally. Rob is next best on Sing Along Sally. Ian naps Nitro Johnny. Sing Along Sally is currently your 7-4 favourite from 2-1. 11-4 Nitro Johnny from 3-1. I'm going to side with trap 5. Droopy's good at 5s. So let's go through the runners here for race number 2. We did mention Sing Along Sally for Pat Buckley in trap number 1. She is the Juvenile Classic winner early on in her career and a finalist in the Con and Annie Kirby Memorial after that. She returned to action after a break here August the 13th, and she's expected to improve on last week's run. She will need to if she's to progress. Ian said he was speaking to Pat Buckley, and she may just need another run, although she is improving week by week. She has some smart early pace when she's on song, and a perfect draw here in trap 1. Looks at picture out on the track there with Emma Buckley. Trap number 2, Jazz Toes, came into the Derby as a reserve here and ran well for a long way in a tough heat behind Broadstrand, Ryan and the Machine last week. He knows this place well, and he could give you a decent run at a decent price. Over to Ian for the parade for race number 2.
The opening second round heat of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby is led by Sing Along Sally, trained by Pat Buckley, owned by Gilbert Anderson. This daughter, Tulla Reactant, Droopy Smasher, perfectly housed in the red jacket. 2 is Jazz Toes for Peter Cronin, the big bus syndicate, son of Taylor Sky and Yahoo Perlina. He's won 11 times in his careers. Chances are simple. If he leads, he has a big chance. If he doesn't lead, I'm afraid he won't be winning. The next we're going to see when he eventually comes around is Eden Curra Bray. This fellow, runner-up in the Tipperary Cup on August 7th to Freedom Epic. He was third behind Explosive Boy last week, owned by John Murray and Michael Splann. He's won 7 times in his career. Big price to land the spoils here. 4 is Glen Kwan Pat for Damien Cunningham and Liam Curley, a son of Pat C. Sabbath, and Glen Lee's got tremendous early dash. The same could be said for Droopy's Good. Likely to edge inwards. Owen McKenna trains this fellow for Paul Carpenter and Bev Lockheed. And out in 6 you have Nitro Johnny, Graham Holland for the Pig Iron Syndicate. This says son of Droopy Sydney and Rockburst Vienna. It's the second race in your card, folks. They're on the way to traps. The opening second round heat of the BoyleSports Greyhound Derby. Not long left to place your bets.
Thanks a million, Ian. So we will continue with our preview of race number 3. Now on to trap 3, and as you see it on parade, when you gotta go, you gotta go. Eden Curran Bray, this one owned and trained by John Murray and Michael Spillane. He's the son of Kinloch Bray and Eden Curra Cannon. Baptism of fire here last week on the Shelbourne Park debut behind Explosive Boy and Stefan's Rocket. Didn't have much luck on the run to the corner, and basically the race was over before he got going, to tell you the truth. However, this run will suit him because there's so much early pace in the race. You have Sing Along Sally, Jazz Toes expected to go up well, as 2 will Glen Quinn, Pat and Droopy's Good. When you look at this dog's record, he has 28 top 3 finishes from 32 starts. So I think a lot of these early pace runners could be gone, and I'm pretty sure he could pick his way through and nick a qualifying spot. He's currently a 14-1 shot, so if you're thinking about something at a decent price for a trio, trap 3 Eden Curra Bray. He's, as I say, 28 times from 32 times in the top 3. He's sure to run on behind these early paced runners. Trap 4 Glen Quan Pat for Damien Cunningham and Liam Cardy, a son of Patsy Sabbath and Glen Lee. An early pace tracker, ran a blinder in defeat here last Friday night when caught close home by a strong runner in Razzle Dazzle Peaky. He's another who will need to lead to win. Must avoid trap 4 Droopy's Good early, as he's likely to move inwards along with himself, Glencoe and Pat. Very capable if he can get to the lead, and therein lies his best chance. Trap 5 then, Droopy's Good for Paul Carpenter and Beverly Lockett, trained by Owen McKenna, son of Ballybock Mike and Droopy's Cuckoo. It's very similar to trap 4, I suppose, Glencoe and Pat. Fast starting early pacer who will seek the rails. He led for much of the trip as well here last Saturday night before being caught close home by Gaytime and Milo. He's another one who we will only see the best of if he gets to the front early. He's currently a 5-1 chance. Owen McKenna has his dogs running in really good form at the moment. And speaking of a man who has his dogs running in really good form, that brings us on to trap number 6. Graham Holland trains Nitro Johnny for the Pig Iron Syndicate. This one's a son of Droopy Sydney and Rockburst Vienna. He's possibly the best drawn runner on the card this evening, as both 4 and 5 will move to the rail, and he'll have the freedom of Shelbourne Park, as Ian mentioned earlier on. He ran well in a hot contest behind Ballymac Wild and BoyleSports King last Friday night, and may find it tough to lead off some of these if they get an early run. But look, as I say, he's going to have plenty of room to operate early. He's currently 11-4. Ian, I'm going to side with trap 5 here. Droopy's Good. Nitro Johnny is your nap, is that correct?
Yeah, just at the prices during the week, I thought he was a bit generous. 5 Droopy's Good will certainly dive at the inside. He's going to struggle to lead the likes of Glencoe, Pat, Jazz Toes, and even Sing Along Sally. I think there's a chance of traffic in the middle of the track, and with Sing Along Sally perhaps needing the run, I think Nitro Johnny can go faster than the 30-15 he produced last week. A couple of these ran, in fact Droopy's Good ran on the Saturday night, the 14th, which was running fractionally faster. Hopefully Nitro Johnny could do a 29.70 run. I think that'd be good enough to land the spoils here. Well, as you can see, runners now being placed in traps heat 1 of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. And so the runners in traps for heat 1 of the second round of the Derby. 1 Sing Along Sally, 2 Jazz Toes, 3 Eden Curra Bray, 4 Glencoe Pat, 5 Droopy's Good, 6 Nitro Johnny. Here up behind traps. Racing, good start by 5 Droopy's Good, flashes from boxes, leads into the opening turn. He's going to clear them. In second spot is 2 Jazz Toes, then comes 1 Sing Along Sally and Nitro Johnny, but it is 5 Droopy's Good. He did clear the runners on the inside, and he's gone on by 5 lengths down the far side. 2 in second, 2 Jazz Toes, then comes Sing Along Sally and 6 Nitro Johnny, but 5 Droopy's Good has left his rivals standing, maintains a clear advantage into the home straight. He's not the strongest of stairs, but he stays well enough, and he's going to win with a fair bit in hand. Second is 2 Jazz Toes and 1 Sing Along Sally third. The winning time 29.62. That was better than good from Droopy's Good.
Good shout, Ian. Thanks a million. Yeah, Droopy's Good. That's 2 from 2 for me, lads. Just like to point that out. Look, it was always a race to the bend, and he takes a flyer from trap 5. Ian did mention he doesn't dive to the rails as we thought he might, but he certainly edges upwards on the run to the bend. But once he cleared them here, there wasn't an awful lot of stamina in behind. We know Jazz Toes and Sing Along Sally both do their best running from the front, but he's got some serious pace, this son of Ballybock Mike, and as they hit the third bend, he's 5 lengths clear of Jazz Toes, who was never really going to trouble him. He's not the strongest stayer himself, Jazz Toes. Sing Along Sally ran well to snatch. I think she might have got third, not confirmed. Looking at this, yeah, I think she did. Eden Curra Bray, I thought he was going to get closer as they turned for home. Something might have went amiss with him off the last bend, but a good run there by Droopy's Good, clocking 29.62, which tells you the track is certainly good. We've seen 41.46 in the first race, 29.66 there by Droopy's Good. Ian, once he led, as I said, there's not much staying power in this race. He was always going to take a bit of beating.
Was whether he was going to get across or not, but he didn't dive in. He took his time. As I said before race, he may be a more experienced greyhound now and mightn't just dive across like he did in 1 or 2 of his earlier races. No, very impressive display. 17-12 to that third bend. That's good running from him. Obviously he loses a bit of time coming home doing 29.62, but no, a fine display by trap 5 Droopy's Good. And if you have an early pacer in this competition, he's a dog you're going to want to avoid over the next 2 or 3 weeks, because he can really rocket to that opening corner. Droopy's Good. Delighted for Paul Carpenter and Bev Lockheed, 2 great supporters of the game, both in Ireland and the UK.
Yeah, definitely, and he will be better suited by maybe a 3 or 4 draw, but he done it there tonight the hard way from trap 5. For the first time this evening, after his next best has been sunk, great time to bring in the Naps leaderboard leader. Rob, Sing Along Sally ran okay there, but she does her best running from the front.
Yeah, she slightly missed the kick. She's run well. I think she's hung on for third, but as you've said. It was all about Droopy's good. We knew he'd lead. It was all a case of whether he was going to get far enough clear, and he was doing a 12.67 split from the third bend last week, so when he had a big advantage he was never going to get caught. As you said, good run tonight. It looked in really good order. We saw JT Japan do a really good run, and we've seen Droopy's good do a really good run also, so expect fireworks tonight, and we certainly had it with Droopy's good.
I have you, Rob. I don't want to go on about it, but your next best was sunk. Macho Pride, he's your nap of the night this evening. You fancy him to go to double up his tally from last week?
Yeah, listen, it's far from easy. He was impressive last week. I didn't know an awful lot about him last week, but I obviously was looking through the heats during the weekend. There's 3 or 4 greyhounds over the next couple of nights that tick all boxes in. Good splits, good back straight pace, and he stays well. And I think if he can repeat his run to the third bend tonight, I think it'll be very hard to catch. But it's really good racing, and we'll be a lot wiser in about 90 minutes time. But I just thought there's a few greyhounds who come under the radar into this derby, and I thought he was one of them, and I thought he might be one to follow tonight. Yeah,
thanks a million, Rob. He certainly is. So he ran well last week from trap 1. I think trap 4 will possibly suit him a little bit better, but he's going to face a battle for the early lead against Grangeview Mac. That promises to be a mouth-watering heat later on. So we're going to throw back now to Rob. I believe, Rob, you have Kevin Hennessy there with you this evening.
I do have Kevin, yeah. We're going to look back as well as looking forward. JT Japan, Kev, I'd say you're fairly relieved as well as being very proud.
Yeah, look, more proud than relieved. There's no real pressure on this lad anymore. Suffered a bad injury here a couple of months ago, and he's a plate in his hop now, or across his metacarpals, and anything he does is a bonus. He's a wonderful dog with a wonderful attitude. He promised savage ability as a young dog. He ran in that one race down in Tralee with Ballymac-Wild, Deerjet Sydney, Glengar Bale, and he lined up actually favoured in that final, but things didn't bounce right for him since then. But look, it looks like he might have a career over 6 bends now, which would be fantastic. But he's a joy to be a part of, and I'm delighted to see him get his nose in front.
And given the issues he's had, it was a brave call to go 6 bends with him.
Yeah, he actually trialled prior to the Cork and Cullen along with Price and BoyleSports Bingo, and there wasn't a whole lot between the 3 of them, so we were fairly confident he would stay. He ran in Thurles in the Tipperary Cup there recently. He was unlucky to go out down there, but like I said, there's no pressure on him. He enjoys his racing. He wouldn't be racing if he didn't want to, and when you go take out a dog to go racing and he's not taken out, he goes mental. So he clearly loves the game, and as long as he's loving it and enjoying it and running well, we'll keep bringing him. And look, we might go for the Cambridgeshire and Limerick, but now with him after that performance tonight.
And I believe you have already plans after his racing career.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Looking to build my own house, and if I do get it done, and when I get it done, he'll be on the couch beside me. He's a favourite of mine, alright.
Sounds good. Right, let's look forward. We've had Droopy's good, really good run.
Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to? Jack's Little Thing obviously is coming up shortly.
Yeah, this next one, like you'll be looking at the sectional clocks again with this super run in the first run. There's no one dog you pick out tonight. You sit back, you enjoy them all, and you take notes and you try and pick a few of them, because the track seems to be running pretty well out there, and if Jack's Little Thing hits the boxes like he did last week, everyone will be turning to the third bend to see what clock he does to there. But good clean racing and plenty of enjoyment, that's what I'm looking forward to.
And a quick word in prices yet?
Yeah, he's in great form, fingers crossed. Tricky enough little race for him. The machine is in one, he's brilliantly drawn in there. Plenty of early pace just outside the machine, so hopefully Cork can get a clear run around the opening bend, and hopefully he can qualify.
What about qualifying?
That's it.
Okay, well done and best of luck.
Thank you.
There you have it, good start to the night for the Black and Amber. We'll be catching up with Owen McKenna very shortly.
Thanks a million, Rob. We'll have to get Kevin Hennessy back later on, as I believe there's a big wedding taking place in the Hennessy household tomorrow. Haven't got my invitation yet, but there's still time. Rob, I believe Owen McKenna is there with you this evening.
Yeah, we're here after the opening heat, and we're here with Owen McKenna. We were chatting to you last week, how time flies. Last week it was all about the bitch, and tonight it's all about Droopy's good so far.
Yeah, delighted with him. He looked at an awful draw on paper, trap 5 for the dog. He's a bang railer we see off the last bend. But he's a nice bit of early, and the longer run to the bend of 550 probably suits him. So here he's through it to another round. So last week was his first run out of 550 box. Sort of stumbled half coming out of the box. He split wasn't great, improved it tonight, and he's there in the hat.
And we knew his early pace. We're going to see more and more in this derby. Early pace is going to be very important.
Yeah, ground conditions are good like it is tonight. It will be. We went to Dundalk with the dog for the sprint. It didn't work out up there. won the first night, he didn't work out, but we said we'd throw him in the Derby, hopefully have a bit of fun and see how we go. Looks more like a Laurel's dog, but there's only one Derby, it's a long way, time to wait till next year.
Okay, and your second runner a little bit later on, do you have a chance of qualifying?
Well drawn, he's a nice dog, he's very immature, like he's a big old dog and he'll need a bit of time. If he could scrape through, we'd be delighted.
Okay, and Susie Sapphire, we'll see her tomorrow night.
Yeah, all systems go, touch wood, she's in great form, so hope for the best.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well, there you go, good start to the night for Black and Amber, good start for Owen McKenna, and he's got another chance tonight, and of course Susie Sapphire tomorrow night.
Yeah, exciting times ahead for the McKenna kennels indeed. Now we have the star of last week's show, Jack's Little Thing. He's up next in heat number 2. He's currently your 3-1 on favourite. So let's take a look at the runners for race number 3. We will start with trap number 1, Angry Tornado for Liam Walsh, trained by Peter Cronin. He's the son of Confident Rankin and Angry Lauren. Running really well around here before a couple of big runs around Toaster in June. He returned to action with a smart trial over 525 there August the 7th. He was forced wide on the run-up by the winner last Saturday, Macho Pride, but he's capable of a much better performance. He's a perfect draw inside tonight here. He can go up strongly. Look, he did go up well last week, but as I say, he was forced wide all the way up the run-up by Macho Pride. He's 11-2. Trap number 2, Coolivani Sando for the Kildare Kilgolgan Syndicate, trained by Neelius O'Connell, the son of Droopy Sydney Paper Doll. He ran on well to snatch a fastest loser spot in a messy contest here last Saturday night, and previously ran well behind an impressive winner, Burgess Turbo, on August the 6th. He's still young and improving, and Neelius O'Connell has his dogs at the top of their game. He's 33 is from 40, so a small nibble for him. Trap number 3 for Liam Dowling, Ballymac Merlin, from that good litter from Vulturio, Ballymac Bell. Strapping performer, he tips the scales at £82 on his latest start. Has some top class form to his name despite only having the 2 wins. He was a finalist in the Kirby in April. He was a finalist in the Race of Champions around Tralee. Has clocked 29.62 around here in the past, and I'm sure there's still a big run in this dog, and tonight could be the night. I know the Dowlings are fairly fond of this fella, so maybe he can turn on the style tonight. 5-1 chance. Magical Jasper for Alice Guilfoyle, trained by Pat, a son of Headbound and Law Hill Louise. He's the eldest runner of the lineup, but he has been a wonderful dog for connections. He got squeezed out at the third bend last Friday night when mounting his challenge, and he faces a tough task for me here tonight. He will need plenty of luck, and that shows in his price. He's currently a 20-1 chance. On to the favourite, the Pillar Syndicate's Jack's Little Thing, trained by Graham Holland, a member of that fabulous litter, Droopy Sydney, out of Limini. Sensational performance here last Saturday night when flashing from traps, posting the fastest of the competition, 29.10. And as I mentioned at the top of the programme, where does this dog's improvement stop? He's gone 29.50, 29.40, 29.30 and 29.10 in his last 4 wins. There could be still more to come on a fast track as it looks here tonight. And finally, out in trap 6, we have Coolivani Chick, the only lady in the lineup. She ran well on a return to action last Friday. She was third in the 2020 English Derby at Nottingham, has posted 29.39 for the 550 here in the past, and she's a real chance of qualifying as the only wide seed here this evening. So the betting's currently Jack's Little Thing is 3-1 on. Next in is Ballymac Merlin at 5-1. It's 11-2 Angry Tornado, 12-1 Coolivani Chick, 20's Magical Jasper, and 33-1 Coolivani Sando. They're about to go on parade for race number 3. It's heat 2 of the 2021 BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. Ian.
Greyhounds about to parade now. This is heat 2 of the second round of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. One is Angry Tornado, Liam Walsh and Peter Cronin, the son of Confident Rankin, Angry Lauren. Next in the blue jacket, Coolivani Sando, Neelius O'Connell for the Kildare Kilcolgan Syndicate, the son of Droopy Sydney and Paper Doll. In the white jacket of 3, Ballymac Merlin for Liam Dowling, son of Vulturi and Ballymac Bell. 4 is Magical Jasper, owned by Alice Guilfoyle, trained by Pat Guilfoyle, the son of Headbound, Law Hill Louise. 5 is Jack's Little Thing, Graham Holland for the Pillar Syndicate, son of Droopy Sydney and Limini. And completing the lineup in the striped jacket is Coolivani Chick for Noel Hare. This is a daughter of Droopy Sydney and Tom's Delight, of course an English Derby finalist last year, returning from a bit of a layoff. It's the second heat of the BoyleSports Derby. They are making their way towards traps. Not long left to get involved.
Thanks, Ian. So it's 130 on now, trap 5, Jack's Little Thing. Rob, are you having 1,000 to win 300, or how do you see this one going?
No, listen, with a greyhound like him, I suppose if you're on outright as well, you just want to see him do his thing. You looked at him last week. He surprised some people last week, but to an awful lot of people he didn't, and he certainly didn't surprise Graham Holland. His 3:36 sectionals, obviously the joint second of the Derby, but his 16:96 to the third bend was by far the quickest, and he's doing 12:14 from the third bend onwards. He's ticking every box. He starts. His pace from the winning line to the third bend is exceptional, and he's staying well. He just needs a level break to win tonight. He just needs normal luck, doesn't need bad luck, doesn't need good luck, just normal luck, and he wins. Obviously people are going to be playing the forecast and the TriCast. I suppose Ballymacmerlin's the obvious one, but maybe Coulivanny Chick. She obviously was returning last week. She ran well. She'll improve, but let's hope Jack's Little Thing does his thing like he did last week. The track's running well, and let's hope he goes close to what he did last week.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Just before Jack's Little Thing goes here, I will give you the outright betting. I'm sure it might change after this heat. This is from the sponsors. Explosive Boy is still your 5-1 favourite. Jack's Little Thing next in at 6-1. Ballymac Ariel is next at 12-1. Then you have 16's Ballymac Wild and 20's Ballymac Fairone, along with Broadstrand Ryan. You can have 25's Jacob Tashadelic, The Machine, Macho Pride, and then the two ladies, Scooby Princess and Susie Sapphire, are also at 25-1. It's 33-1 bar those few. I'm sure Jack's Little Thing, if he comes out and does another run similar to last week, he'll be a lot shorter than 6-1 this evening. Ian, I'm going to side with Jack's Little Thing. No surprise there that 3's on. We're probably looking for a forecast. I think it's between maybe 1 and 3 for the runner-up spot.
Yeah, listen, Jack's Little Thing will be very, very hard to stop. Ballymacmerlin, yeah, I've been waiting for him to take off. It just hasn't quite happened. Coulivanny Chick will surely come on for last week's run. You know, Magical Jasper, Coulivanny Santa could both run, but Angry Tornado, I thought he ran very flat last week, but if he produced his best toaster for me there with a life for second spot, but it's all about Jack's Little Thing. 3-1 on. I'm not sure. I think it's perfectly fair, to be honest. I thought he might even be shorter. Yeah, it'd be just interesting to see if he can repeat last week's running.
Yeah, I'm not one for backing short odds on like that myself, but I do think 3-1 is not a bad price. Magical Jasper, Coulivanny Chick, they're not known for their lightning early pace. I know Coulivanny Chick has a couple of decent sections around here last year, but it is 12 months ago. But look, Ballymacmerlin's not exactly flying to the bend. Look, even if Jack's Little Thing was level with Angry Tornado down the back straight, you'd still take 3-1 on about him going on and winning. I think 3-1 on is perfectly fair at this stage of the evening. I'm going to go for 5. I think it's 5, a clean sweep for a lot of us. Just to mention, Needius O'Connell, he does have his runners in really, really good form, and he's a nice youngster here in Coulivanny Sando, who ran well in a messy enough heat here last Saturday. He can't finish well. He also has a couple of decent sections over 5-5, 2:13 and 2:14, so he could surprise a few at a big price. But I think the safest bet here is keep your money in your pocket or have a few quid on Jack's Little Thing at odds on. Ian, it's over to you for commentary. It's round 2, heat 2 of the 2021 BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby.
Yeah, all eyes on trap 5 here, Jack's Little Thing. Interesting to see if he can repeat anything like last week's run. You heard the bell, the runners for Heat 2 of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. 1 Angry Tornado, 2 Coulivanny Sando, 3 Ballymacmerlin, 4 Magical Jasper, 5 Jack's Little Thing, and 6 is Coulivanny Chick. Hair up behind traps. Racing, good start by Trap 2 up the inside. Coulivanny Sando, Jack's Little Thing caught a little bit in his hind legs, and it is 6 Coulivanny Chick that clears the bend. 5 Jack's Little Thing now in chase in second, but forced to check, and it is 6 Coulivanny Chick. But here comes 5 Jack's Little Thing up the inside. Still Coulivanny Chick, but there goes Jack's Little Thing up the inside. Hits the front by a length. Now 2 lengths, 2.5 lengths, 3 lengths. Jack's Little Thing didn't hit the ground running, but he's gone on to a very comfortable success in the finish from 6 Coulivanny Chick and 2 Coulivanny Sando, 29.71. Not quite the fireworks of last week, but if you are in Team Jack's Little Thing, that'll do.
Jack's Little Thing, he does it the hard way, but he does it in 29.71. Congratulations to the Pillar Syndicate. Let's have a look at it. Doesn't come away, sort of half stumbles when he comes out. His feet don't really hit the ground. Trap 6 goes up strongly on the outside, and he can count himself a little bit fortunate there, Jack's Little Thing. He gets around in second place, just climbs over the back of Coulivanny Chick down the back straight, but shows great pace into the third bend, and he's already going to lend clear, I suppose, of Coulivanny Chick as they hit the third bend. He clocked 17.41 to the third bend this week. He was sub 17 seconds last week, so he's maybe 6-7 lengths even more behind than he was last week, but he done it the hard way. He ran on well, he stayed on well, and I'm sure the Pillar Syndicate are happy there, Ian. Probably a few heart and mouth moments in when he was going to the bend.
Yeah, I'd say more relieved than happy. As you said, just that opening corner would have been a bit hairy as they were racing in that final 25 yards. He just made a burst and cleared them, only just cleared them. But that's the difference between perhaps winning a derby and losing a derby. You can't win it tonight, but you could certainly have lost it. He had to check again as Coulivanny Chick stayed in his line, but once he got the space down the back straight, he showed real pace and purpose in his movement, shot to the front before the third bend and stretched on to comfortably put distance between himself and his rivals. It was a fine display by Jack's Little Thing. If we hadn't seen last week's run, we'd have said, a tremendous performance. But knowing how well he can come out of boxes, it was a case of, job done. Perhaps a little bit more workmanlike than his connections would have fancied. But he's still there, and he'll still be a pretty short price for Derby Glory.
Yeah, he certainly will indeed. Thanks, Ian. So, Rob, I think you gave us the forecast there. Rob, you gave Coulivanny Chick a good mention up. She ran a blinder there.
Yeah, she did. I have to say, as good as he was last week, I'm nearly as impressed with Jack's Little Thing tonight, because tonight, the way things went, he could have easily gone out. He's missed a break. He's tracked really well around the opening two bends. We saw tonight why he's a middle seed, and obviously he ran up the back of Coulivanny Chick, but we've a proper dog in our hands. We saw it last week, and I think you should be just as impressive tonight. We're going to get Sarah Kinston's thoughts. Sarah, Jack's Little Thing, no doubt plenty were on him from last week, and their dockets are still very much alive.
Yeah, I mean, he was slashed into 6-1 from 20-1 after his performance last week, and you can see why. 29-10, and then coming from behind tonight, behind Coulivanny Chick is not an easy thing to do either. I know, she's still getting back to race fitness, but that was mighty impressive. He just pulled away from them in the end. So look, I don't know what price he'll be now. He could probably go 3 or 4s, I'm not sure, but it all depends how explosive Boy goes as well. So the pair of them are dominating the top of the market, and it's just so exciting to see them running so well.
Absolutely great to see him still there. Obviously tonight we still have the BoyleSports Champion Stakes winner, the Machine, and he's probably in the heat of the night, but he's got a good box.
Yeah, so I just have it here, heat 4, so he's 2-1. I think he's a bit short, if I'm honest with you, because he lacks that early pace. The dog I've gone with is Priceless Jet in 67-4. Now obviously these prices are subject to change, so they could be different now, but Priceless Jet was desperately unlucky, I thought, in the BoyleSports Champion Stakes. He was coming with a beautiful run around the Brand, and there was traffic problems, and I think if he had hit the front that night, I don't think the Machine would have caught him, so I'm going for him at 7-4. But look, it's a great race. Amethyst Luke as well, who won last week. I know he led late, he only got up on the line, but still you can take a lot to take away from that performance, and he's still a big price in the outright as well. I think he's around 33-1. He's 100-30 to win that heat, but Priceless Jet for me.
Okay, what else are you looking forward to tonight?
Yeah, so just to go through the other heats there, what are we, heat 3? So I've actually gone with Ballymac Art in this as my nap. She's 2-1. I think she's a fantastic price. I don't think the others will match her early. I'm not saying the others will be coming from behind, but I just think she'll have enough early to stay in front, I hope, come the finishing line. Stories Pee-wee is obviously a big danger in 6 at 5-2. Then to look at heat 5, I think I went to Broadstrand Ryan at 11-10, and he's a favourite. Ballymac Fair One is the next one in there at 6-4, with Billy's Diva out of trap 2. Sure. There might be traffic problems at the bend, you don't know. I don't like 5-dog races, you want to see all 6 in there, but Catch Me Flying is probably one that you can keep an eye on there as well. He came home very strong last week, and his value at 7-2. Then to go to heat 6, Ballymac Wild is obviously the 4-6 favourite, but I've gone for Scooby Princess at 9-4. It's no secret I'm a big fan of this bitch. Earlier in the year I think she was going for 6 or 7 wins in a row. She had a massive purple patch there for a while, so I'm really looking forward to seeing her. Dead heat last week, she came from behind. She's a cracking bitch, she's very consistent, and you can rely on her when you're punting her. 9-4 is a terrific price. Heat 7, I suppose Kamiko at 2-1 is great value as well, because Metro Pride is a heat winner last week. He's 11-4. I think it's all right price, but I just think Kamiko at 2-1 is great value. And then heat 8, Epic Hero at 5-4 and trap 1. I think he'll come off the fence a little bit, so based on that, I'm going with All About Ted down the bottom of the stripes at 11-8. I know coming from England to here, it's probably hard on some dogs, obviously not Ballymac Fair One, it didn't seem to bother him, but I just think we'll see more of an improvement from All About Ted this week, and I just think 11-8 is good value for him.
So Ballymac Art, the nap of the night?
Yeah, I think she might nap of the night. Yeah, 2-1. It's just a terrific price. The way she ran last week on her debut over 550 here, and Liam Dowling's dogs are running out of their skin, so it's very hard not to fancy them, so just going for her for a bit of value, that's all.
Okay, let's hope you're right. So there you go, you've got it from the bookmaker, the sponsors. She's gone through the card, but Ballymac Art is her nap of the night.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Sarah. Yes, Sarah's nap is coming up in about 8 minutes' time. Ballymac Art, she's currently a 2-1 shot. So, Ian, you're not going to win the naps by the look of it, because you're running out of time. I caught you last week with Spanish Battleship, done your knowledge there. So I have an easy little one for you tonight. You can play along at home as well. I'm going to give you a dog and ask you, Derby finalist or not a Derby finalist? Understand the rules?
Yep.
Right, so in the chase style. Diddle-a-diddle-a-doo. Can we do that with the lights there now? Okay, right. The first one I'm going to give you is, and Rob, I hope you're listening. Cause you're
Sorry, I just can't get over the diddle-a-diddle-a-doo.
Do it again, will I? Diddle-a-diddle-a-doo. Right, here we go. Right. Eyes down. The first dog I'm going to give you, Derby finalist or not a Derby finalist? Radical Prince.
Yes. Second to Manx Treasure.
I was going to say bonus point for the year, but no, I'm scrapping that. You just get a point. Rob.
And Manx Treasure didn't actually qualify in the opening round, came back into the Derby, the repechage round.
Yeah, nerd alert, as I just got told by the director. You're right there. Right, you get that one right. Rob, here we go. Your one, Rob, so I'm going to give you a dog.
I was going to say, I think Radical Prince might have been in trap 1. Do I get a point for that?
Oh, double nerd alert.
Eddie Wade, trained by Eddie Wade.
Okay, stop now. Right. Rob, your one, Spiral Nikita. Finalist or not a Derby finalist?
I was a huge fan of him. I don't think he got to a final. I remember him getting the quarters or something. But as big a fan as I was, maybe not. Maybe I wasn't as big a fan as I thought.
Came from 2 lengths behind some picture down the back straight to lead him 2 lengths into the third bend. The Derby semi-final was in the final. I think he might have finished behind his sister, Tina Marina.
He did finish behind his sister, and it's my quiz, so just speak when you're spoken to, please. Okay, Rob, it's 1-0 to Ian.
2-0, I think.
No, it wasn't your question. We'll go one more each. Ian Fortune, Born a Pilot.
No.
Very good. A semi-finalist twice in 2002 and 2003. Right, that's another point for Ian Fortune. Rob, let's see, can you tidy it up a bit here? Last one of this round, Billy Playback. Finalist or not a Derby finalist?
I suppose we've had 2 yeses, so we're due a second now. We'll go now.
No, he was, Rob. You're having a shocker here, and I'm trying to give you the easy ones. He was a Derby finalist in 2005 behind He Said So. Right, we'll come back to that, or maybe we won't, because Ian's winning 2-0. He's a little bit too good. On to race number 4. It is heat number 3 of the second round. We have my next best bet of the night in this race. Trap 1, Spinosaurus. He's a lightly raced young puppy for Owen McKenna. He ran well in the recent puppy final here August the 6th, and certainly ran much better than the final placing suggests August the 14th. He moved well to the corner before taking a bump at the third bend, and ran well to qualify, so he's definitely one with a chance at a big price. Rob, you're joined by Timmy Holland. What's Timmy got to say after the last winner?
You didn't see till the second win line he was going to get there.
Yeah, we're here with Timmy. I'm most definitely with the most relieved man in Shelbourne Park, because Timmy, I'm a big fan of him, so I can't imagine what it was like with you after about 4 yards.
Yeah, you know he was going to get around the bend, or he was going to find a bit of trouble, but he just got there, so I'm delighted. As long as he was in the first 3, it didn't matter. But no, he got round, and he tracked well going down the back, and that got up inside going into the third. So no, delighted with it.
It's all about qualifying, but a win's a bonus.
Yeah, exactly. So no, delighted really. After he didn't seem to come away too well, so no, once he qualified, that was the main.
Okay, we'll keep it up.
Perfect, thanks.
Okay, there you go. Over to Ian for the parade.
Dame Irish, Trap 2, Carrigain North. In 3, Ballymac Art, the real speedster for Liam Dowling, a daughter of Ballymac Best and Art of Illusion. She'll bid to set the pace here from Trap 3. In 4, Sweep the Yard for Graham Holland and the Broken Bookies Syndicate. This fellow so rarely out of the frame, a son of Swift Hoffman, Salons Mia. 5, a second runner for Graham, owned by Stephanie O'Connell. It's Gaytime Milo, a talented son of Gaytime Hawk and Gaytime Derval. He's won 7 of his 20. And 6 is Stories Pee-wee. Mert Lahi for Gavin O'Mahony, a son of Overlimit and Kitty's Box. He's won 4 of his 13. None, and I mean none, will be finishing faster than Stories Pee-wee. They are the runners. Heat 3 of the BoyleSports Derby. They're making the way towards traps.
Thanks a million, Ian. Yeah, so I was saying Spinosaurus was my next best bet of the card. I think he went up quite well last week after a tardy enough start. He's very young, he qualified well, and look, he's now 9-1 from 16s. So somebody else is on as well as me. I think he has a big chance at a big price. Trap 2, Carrigain North, another lightly raced youngster we've seen at the top of the programme. Some smart form over 5-5 earlier this summer, and finished well behind Ballymac Art, who reopposes tonight. May well get a bit closer to that one with a faster start, and he's improving. Don't ignore this one. Ballymac Art, your race favourite currently at 15-8 for Liam Dowling. Brilliant bitch on her day. She was an Oaks finalist in 2020 and a semi-finalist this year, 2021. She's huge early pace as she displayed in a couple of rounds of the Sprint Cup at Dundalk last month. Big performance here last week when making all the very fast 29.66. She's a very likely leader and will be employing Catch Me If You Can tactics. Trap 4, sweep the yard. As we got to know him last week, his pet name is Basil. He's the oldest runner in the lineup. He has been a credit to Connections. Runner up behind the impressive Penny Lane Sheba last week. Won a round of the recent English Derby at Toaster. He's 49 top 3 finishes from 64 starts, and Connections will be hoping to make it 50 from 65. We wish Basil all the best. Another runner for Graham Holland is Gaytime Milo. He's Droopy's Good, who we seen win our first heat close home last Saturday night. And he's another who ran well in the English Derby. May just lack a yard of early pace in top company, but he can get himself into a decent position if trapping well. He's not surrounded by huge early pace. And finally, out in trap 6 is Stories Pee-wee, an improving youngster from Mortlahey. Has won his last 2 in good style. He made all here August the 7th, and he came from well off the pace August the 13th. He's posted a string of consistent sectionals, and he's likely to be on the premises at halfway. His 29.42 win here a couple of weeks ago reads well, and he's won with a big chance, currently 5-2 second favourite. Rob, I'm going to side with Spinosaurus here at the big price and 1. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, this is the most difficult heat of the night. I thought there's cases to be made for 3 or 4 of them. You heard from Owen McKenna a little bit earlier on. He thought there was a big run in his lad. Ballymacart obviously is the obvious one. She's got a good sectional. Last week's sectional suggests she'll lead to the 3rd bend, but she's not going to be maybe coming home as well as others, although she's likely to improve from last week. So that drew me to Gaytime Milo and Stories Pee-wee, and just with Stories Pee-wee, he can come away well, he can go well to the 3rd bend, and as Ian said, nothing's going to be coming home faster. And I just think that there's a little bit of traffic problems on the inside. I think Stories Pee-wee might get the run of the race. It's a great race. You do well to pick the winner, let alone the first 3 to qualify. So marginally Stories Pee-wee, but as you said, Barry, 3 or 4 could easily win this race.
Yeah, it is a tight betting affair, as you say. Spinosaurus is the outsider at 9-1 in trap 1. It's currently 15-8 now. Ballymacart, Sarah Kinsel's nap of the night, 5-2 Stories Pee-wee. Ian, I get the impression you like Stories Pee-wee here in this.
I just like him as a greyhound, but I just think tonight that he might get a run around the outside. I think he might be a bit closer than some are expecting. Obviously some fast greyhounds in this. It's one of those heats where if something does get loose, they'll be hard enough to peg back. You know, Spinosaurus is strong, Carrigaline North is strong. Even Ballymacart, she's not what you'd call she doesn't drop, you know, she doesn't drop on the run in. Like she keeps on going to the line. Sweep the yard stays, Gaytime Milo stays, but Stories Pee-wee really has been a bit of a revelation over recent weeks, and he'll be absolutely hammering home the outside of the track. And you know, from a personal point of view, I hope he gets there.
Yeah, just give you a quick show betting. It's now 7-1 trap 1 Spinosaurus. It's 2-1 Ballymacart, 9-4 Stories Pee-wee. You can have 4-1 Gaytime Milo, 10-1 Sweep the Yard, and that is it. So I'll hand you over to Ian Fortune for commentary.
Yeah, no diddly do from you, Barry. No, as they go into traps. Anyway, the runners in traps now for Heat 3 of the BoyleSports Irish Derby. 1 Spinosaurus, 2 Carrigaline North, in 3 Ballymacart, 4 Sweep the Yard, 5 Gaytime Milo, and 6 is Stories Pee-wee. The hare coming up behind traps. Racing, good start by 3 Ballymacart on the outside, 6 Stories Pee-wee and 5 Gaytime Milo, but Ballymacart will clear the bend. In second spot, trap 2 Carrigaline North, forcing his way out is 1 Death Spinosaurus into 3rd spot, but out front, and it is 3 Ballymacart, Carrigaline North in chase, and 1 Spinosaurus next. The back of the field, Gaytime Milo and Stories Pee-wee will need to pick up, but still 3 Ballymacart on by 3 lengths to in second 2 Carrigaline North, but Ballymacart will lead up the line and score from in second. Trap 2 Carrigaline North, and 1 Spinosaurus was 3rd. I see Stories Pee-wee finishing fast, but the early traffic paid the price for him. It's 3 Ballymacart in 29.74, 17.28 to the 3rd.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, looks for all money as Ballymacart has just held on from the fast finishing Carrigaline North, who we mentioned at the start of the programme. Let's just see them coming for home. Ballymacart, she's a length and a half length lead there. I think she's hung on. You can see Carrigaline North doing all his best run work laid on. He bobs at the right time, he just doesn't get there. So 3 Ballymacart beats trap 2 Carrigaline North. I think my selection Spinosaurus qualified in trap 1. Let's take a look at it from the start. Pretty level break, but Ballymacart has been, as we know, she does have that good early pace, and that's key. She gets herself clear, a little bit of bother in behind. Carrigaline North does well to hang on to second place. My selection in 3rd Spinosaurus. is third down the back straight. Big finisher Stories Pee-wee back in 5th place. Has a lot to do. As I say, Spinosaurus, he is a strong enough young pup. Who's going to be hard to come from behind him. But take nothing away from Ballymacart out front. Posted 17.28 to the third bench. You can come away a bit quicker than that. The puppy Carrigain North definitely deserves a mention in second. He was closing all the way to the line. He's an improving youngster for Thomas Buggy. You can see Stories Pee-wee there, second into the escape. Pretty good run there by him as well, but just not good enough. The early pace, the early trouble, Ian, paid pay to Stories' chances.
Yeah, he was prominent into the corner, just couldn't quite clear them, and at this point all he had to do was avoid traffic, but it just took a bump from 5 and just there off the second bend again. But you know, great credit to Ballymacart. We know what she does. She's a good trapper, she's good early speed. She got to the front, she went it by 3 lengths, and Carrigain North, while he is strong, it was a big ask to ask him to pick her up, and he ran well. He's not beaten far, but he holds on. Or Trap 3 Ballymacart looks like she held on from Carrigain North, and certainly Trap 1 Spinosaurus was back in third. So 3-2-1, a bit of a Ted Rogers finish.
Yeah, thanks a million. Rob, you were speaking to Sarah Kinsella. That was her nap of the night. She gave us a 2-1 winner. Quite impressive in the end. She can come away a bit better than that, but her early pace got her to the front.
Absolutely. Debbie O'Rourke was sealing the show last Friday, and it's Sarah Kinsella who's filling her boots, and hopefully plenty listened. Yeah, it was all about early pace as we've seen. I think it just shows you how good of a run Jack's Little Thing did. He didn't get any run, and he's gone half a length faster. And as he's probably touched on, Stories Pee-wee, how unlucky was he? But Carrigain North was the greyhound that finished second, and we're here with one of the connections. Karen, well done.
Coulibaly Sando was our dog.
Yeah, you're delighted with that.
Yeah, he was third. Amazing. He's a young dog, and we're just absolutely delighted. Milius O'Connell trains him. He does a super job with him, and you know, we weren't expecting him to qualify, to be honest, tonight, and we're just so happy with him. It was an amazing run.
Yeah.
I think he learned a lot from it as well, so we're hoping he'll improve as he goes on. Hopefully he'll stay qualifying.
Absolutely. So the dream lives on for another week.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thrilled with him. Yeah.
Well, no doubt you'll be tuning in tomorrow night to see the draw.
Oh yeah, definitely, and we've dogs running tomorrow night as well.
Brilliant.
So I have 3 actually going tomorrow night. So hopefully now we'll have some luck there.
Please God,
so
the best of luck.
Milius will be busy. Thanks
absolutely.
very much.
But there you go. So plenty of happy faces down here, and hopefully more continues right throughout the Derby.
Thanks a million, Rob. Yeah, so there's a bitch winning that heat there, Ballymacart. Just a quick breakdown of the runners as regards sex going into this evening. There was 15 bitches left from the 96, 81 dogs left in it. So bitches have quite a strong hand in it. There's some of the Ballymacart up there, Scooby Princess. We see in Ballymacart, Susie Sapphire as well running tomorrow night. And as regards seeding of the 96, 65 of them are inside seeds. We have 16 middle runners, and we have 15 wide runners left as well. So still plenty of inside seeds left in the Derby. So we have Alan Bond ready with Rob over there trackside. Not just yet. Ian, can I just give you another little diddle-a-diddle-a-do? Are you up for one more? Yeah, you go for one?
Diddle-a-diddle-a-do. Go on.
Right. I'm going to go for Super Fine Darky.
Yeah, definitely a finalist. I think that might have been Ardford Mix year, a long time ago.
It was the same year as Manx Treasure,
Manx Treasure, beg your pardon.
92. And I'll give you one more because I know you were close to this family. You should get this one right. Blue Majestic.
No, not an Irish Derby final, I don't think.
No, he was a semi-finalist in 2005. So you're back.
I think he was an English Derby finalist. Now that you mention it,
he was. And Manola Farlow. Do you remember that night Manola Farlow was caught by Westmeath Hockey? He never looked like he was.
Please don't mention it.
Why was there financial involvement?
I'd say my greatest ever financial involvement. He was winning me a new car. Unfortunately, I was at a wedding that night, a black tie wedding in the Berkeley Court. I got a taxi back to Shelbourne Park just to watch it because they didn't have Sky Sports in the Berkeley Court, and I arrived in about as they entered the back straight, and I could see the Westmeath Hawk was on his tail, and I just watched to the end of the race, turned heels and went back to the restaurant, back to the wedding and got drunk as a monkey.
Yeah, sure, that's the way to do it. And speaking of new cars, you've obviously landed a gamble since, because I've been in your car and you don't need a new car. Rob is over there with Alan Bond. Rob?
Yeah, it was the Ballymac show pretty much last week, and it's started in good fashion tonight. Ballymacart, Alan Bond. She's 2 from 2 now in the Derby.
Yeah, please. Again, trapped into her game. She bombed out again tonight. I think Sarah said there, she had a quicker sectional this weekend, so look, still in the draw, that's the most important thing, so happy out.
Yeah, and you can see by her, she's probably going to get better with every run.
Yeah, in fairness now, we think it's on her, so look, she's still in the draw, so that's the most important thing.
I must ask you about Ballymac Wild. He's a greyhound we all love. Touch wood, if everything goes his way tonight, he'll make it 2 from 2.
Yeah, hopefully, but I suppose, look, third is as good as winning, to be honest with you. Just stay in the draw, and that's the most important thing.
Dogs are running well, and that's all that matters.
That's the name of the game.
You keep up the good work.
Love that.
There you have it. So the Ballymac train continues. They've already had a winner tonight, and Ballymac Wild, remember, still to come. Kerry, pretty happy at the moment in County Dublin.
We're not talking about GAA this week. We'll leave that. That's all in the past, Rob. We are on to heat number 4 of the second round of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby, race number 5 on the card. This is one that a lot of us are looking forward to. We have the Machine against Priceless Jet, throw in Deadly Samurai, Amidus Luke, Stories Direct and Monty and Maestro, and you have a fascinating contest on your hand. We will start by looking at trap number 1, the Machine for Brendan Matthews. Of course, he was the Champion Stakes winner, and he's one of the fastest in the country, and there is no doubt about that. He met trouble at Trap Rise last Friday night, but displayed awesome pace down the far side. He's a joy to watch, he really is, and all eyes will be on his position as they hit the back straight. He's a dog with huge pace and power. Trap number 2 for Rachel Wheeler. She trains this one for Richard Wheeler. He's a son of Spartan Maestro, and Mingler Suarez is Monty and Maestro. He's very lightly raced for his age. He's only having his 9th race here this evening, despite being over 3 years old, and he showed good early pace and good courage to make all here last week. He's a definite chance to lead up the inside trio tonight, and expected to improve on last week's run. He's definitely one for trios at a big price, currently 14 to 1. Trap number 3, Amidus Luke for Charles Colgan and Justin Colgan. This lad is son of Patsy Sabbath and Glenn Lee. He will be doing his best work late on. He got up late to nab Deadly Samurai, who reopposes in Trap 4 tonight in the first round last week. Faces a tricky draw between 2 early pace sorts, and will be looking to secure a clear run at the early leaders as they enter the back straight. That brings us on to Gary Hannon's Deadly Samurai, trained by Carol Ramsbottom, the son of Ballymac Vic and Lemon Lucy. He put in a massive performance last week when just caught close home by Trap 3, Amidus Luke. That was his first start since mid-June, and he's expected to improve. And look, any improvement on that effort will give him every chance. There will be plenty coming at him hard and late, however, when you see some of the big finishers we have in opposition here this evening. Trap number 5, Stories Direct for the ZS Syndicate, trained by Mort Lahi, a son of Kulavani Jap. Stories Direct is a 4-time winner from 12 starts. He has displayed early pace in recent starts around here. Slightly missed a kick last week behind Ballymac Art, and ran well to take second. Ballymac Art we've seen win our last race. He faces another early speedster inside him here tonight in Deadly Samurai, and he must be alert at Trap Rise if he's to secure the early lead. And the one I'm going to side with here is Priceless Jet for Brian and Kathleen Murphy, trained by Paul Hennessy, a son of Droopy's Jet and Ravenna. He's a real powerhouse. He ran a blinder last week. He was bumped at the first bend by Ballymac Fairone and just didn't have the rub of the green when he was challenging late on. He looks to me as the runner who's going to get first crack at the early pacers, and I think he's the one to beat. I think Monty and Maestro, Deadly Samurai and Stories Direct will all go up strongly. I don't expect Priceless Jet to match the likes of these to the bend, but I think he's got more early pace than Amidus Luke and the Machine, and I think as they enter the back straight, he will be the one closest to pounce on the early runner. So I'm going to side with Priceless Jet. A current show of betting is the Machine in joint favourites with Priceless Jet. Both of them are 2 to 1. Amidus Luke is 3 to 1, and 5 to 1 Deadly Samurai. Ian, I know you were impressed with Deadly Samurai last week. He ran a blinder, led for much of the journey, and the improvement could seem hard to peg back, but I'm going to side with Priceless Jet.
Yeah, I can see why you could. I can see why anyone could go for, well, mainly any of these runners, to be honest. I think it's wide open. I've gone with the Machine. As I've said, he's on the fence. He doesn't have to worry about getting there, and that's half the battle with the Machine. I think with the early speed on his outside, he might just find himself in a closer pitch off the second bend. That could be the key. But we saw Droopy's good earlier on, staying a lot better tonight from the front, and who would be surprised if Deadly Samurai did the same. Well, greyhounds on parade for Heat 4 of the BoyleSports Derby. Won the Machine, the Champion Stakes winner for Brendan Matthews and Gert Duplessis. This is a son of Druby's Canaan's Precious Story. 2 Montine Maestro, Richard Wheeler, and Rachel Wheeler, a son of Sparta Maestro, Mingler Suarez, good winner in the opening round. 3 Amadeus Luke, another good winner last time out for Charlie and Justin Colgan, a son of Patsy Sabbath and Glen Lee. 4 Deadly Samurai, Carl Ramsbottom for Gary Hannon, brilliant early pace, son of Ballymac Vic and Lemon Lucy. 5 Stories Direct, another with fine early dash. Mert Lahi for the ZS Syndicate, a son of Culavani Jap and Druby's Dorothy. And 6 is Price's Jet, Paul Hennessy for Brian and Kathleen Murphy, a son of Druby's Jet and Ravenna. Heat 4 of the BoyleSports Irish Derby. They're on the way to Traps. It's a cracking race. Claims can be made for each and every runner. They're on the way to Traps.
Thanks a million there, Ian. Yes, so a slight betting change. The Price's Jet is now your 7-4 favourite. 15-8 the Machine. 4-1 Deadly Samurai. 5s Amidus Luke. Speaking of Amidus Luke, Rob, he was your nap last night. 5-1 tonight. How do you see him going? It's a tough heat.
Yeah, it's a very tough heat. This is a brilliant race. 4 lengths separating all 6 greyhounds from their times last week. We've got 2 classic winners, and the draw is probably going to be the key here. If you look at the sections to the third bend last week, Deadly Samurai is going to have a clear advantage if he repeats what he did, and there has to be traffic problems in behind, so you have to give him a great chance of going close, certainly qualifying. We're going to be looking off the second bend to see where the Machine and Price's Jet is. I just can't see Price's Jet getting a run, and I think that the Machine is going to get a dream run round. If he turns second or third, he's got a big chance. Funnily enough, from the third bend last week, Amadeus Luce actually was faster coming home than the Machine. There was only about half a length in it, but obviously he got a much clearer run last week than the Machine. But I think Deadly Samurai might get the run of the race, and I think that the Machine is the one who's going to be hunting him down. But we're going to lose 2 or 3 big names here, and I just hope it's not either of the classic winners.
Yeah, very well said. I know where you're coming from by thinking Price's Jet won't get a run, but I don't expect him to go up with the likes of Deadly Samurai, Montine Maestro and possibly Stories Direct. I think if he can sit on their tails, as I've mentioned already, he has more early pace than Amidus Luke and the Machine. So I think if he goes down the back straight fourth, within 3 or 4 lengths of any of these dogs in front, remember he's a classic winner over 750 yards. Ballymac Fairwin is no slouch. He was a little bit awkward when passing him last week. He went to go on the inside, he switched to the outside and again finished on the inside of him as they passed the line, but he went clear of that runner into the escape. I just think he's going to get first run at the early pacers. Deadly Samurai, Ian, you mentioned last week that he might have just needed that run. Any improvement on that? As Rob says, he should have a clear lead on last week's sectionals.
Yeah, he should do. You know, the 3:44, he's even capable of a better actual initial start. You know, he didn't really hit the ground running last week. He got racing, but he can rocket from boxes when he's on song. And yeah, I just heard whispers last week that he'd probably need the run, and you know, as it was, he didn't really look like he needed it. He ran an absolute bowler in defeat. He was actually picked up by Amadeus Luke. I'd fully expect him to reverse the form with Amadeus Luke tonight if he can get away to a good start. Amadeus Luke 3-1 during the week. I thought that was very much in the skimpy side. I'm just looking here in the exchanges, and he's around 9-1. I made him around an 8-1 chance. I still come down to the fact that something's going to get a run behind Deadly Samurai, be it the Machine or Price's Jet, and I think one of them's going to pick it up. It just so happens I've gone with the Machine, but it'd be no surprise to me if Price's Jet did so. Yeah, thanks, Ian. I can hear cries of 2-1 the field from the betting ring down below, so it just shows you it's a wide open contest between the top and the bottom. Of course, Deadly Samurai has come in for some support. He is a likely leader, but don't rule out Montine Maestro. Look, he's got 6 wins from 8 starts. That has to be that's a fine record in anybody's book, and he showed good early pace last week to lead, and he was gutsy in holding off a couple of challengers. 3:48 sectional, it's not lightning quick, but remember, he has the Machine on one side, Amadeus Luke on the other side. He looks likely to get a clear run up to the first bend. I'm going to side with Price's Jet. It's over to Ian for commentary on race number 5. All in. Heat 4 of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. In 1 the Machine, 2 Montine Maestro, 3 Amadeus Luke, 4 Deadly Samurai, 5 Stories Direct, and 6 is Price's Jet. The hare coming up behind Traps. Racing, good start by Trap 3 in the middle. Amadeus Luke and 4 Deadly Samurai now showing the best early dash. It's Deadly Samurai from in second, 3 Amadeus Luke. Then comes Trap 6 on the outside, Price's Jet. There's traffic at 4 Deadly Samurai. Suddenly finds himself clear, but 6 Price's Jet giving chase in second spot. Surely too close, a further gap to 1 the Machine, who's flying, but 6 Price's Jet strikes the front. Now the Machine is hot in his heels in second spot, but it's Price's Jet. He'll be hard to pass. Here comes the Machine on the outside, bumping up front. It's tight to
the line. 6 Prices Jet may have just had his nose down at the right time from the machine. The winning time 30-17. Oh, tight finish.
Can we get a replay of that finish? Thanks, Ian. I think 6 has just held on from the machine. It's going to be very interesting to look at this last 25 yards. Time 30-17. Let's have a look at it again. Machine looked as though he was going to go past. He's moving to the inside of the track. It's desperately close, just on the... Oh, I can't call it. I think as I watched it in live time, I thought 6 just held on. I thought the machine had other things in his mind, let's say. Let's take a look at it again. Trap 6, Priceless Jet. He's going up very, very strongly. Deadly Samurai, as we've seen, has the best early pace. Amethyst Luke had a great position around the first bend. Bit of trouble in behind. This leaves Priceless Jet in second. The race looked all over here at this stage. The classic winner over 6 bend. We're looking now back at the machine. He's starting to make his move in third place, closing rapidly. Priceless Jet slightly held up there. I still thought the machine wasn't going to get to him, as we know Priceless Jet strong over 7, or he's strong over 4 bends anyway, but the machine, he had every chance to go past there. He didn't. In real time, it looks to me as though 6 has got it, but when it slows down, it's very, very close to call. Let's have a look at it again. Ian, first impressions were 6 just held on, but on the still, it's very hard to call.
Yeah, I tend to go with first impressions. Obviously, it's much clearer in real time rather than the slowed down version is very, very blurry. It's very hard to tell. You're looking at jackets rather than the dog's noses. But in real time, it looked like 6 Prices Jet was down, although Wonder Machine is on the right side. Not perhaps for his own chances on the right side, but in the photo finish on the right side. It got very tight up the home straight, up to the line. Wonder Machine is definitely edging across the whole way. Himself and Priceless Jet got very tight on the line, desperately tight. I'm not going to call it, and I'm glad I'm not a steward.
Yeah, I don't think he's done anything wrong now, let's be honest. The head is straight enough. He just hasn't gone past.
He's just edging in. And in fairness to the dog, every night off the final bend, he does the exact same thing. It just looks worse when there's a dog on his inside. Just on the line, you can make an argument maybe, but again, I'm glad I'm not making the call. I'd sooner see him go through, but I'm on a anti-post.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but look, you can see dogs doing naughty things. The head is turned to the left or the right. His head is not really turned. He's definitely leaning in, and he definitely has other things on his mind, but I don't think he has a go. Is this the result coming through, Ian?
Hello.
Just give us one moment.
Okay.
Might have the result. Have you got an official result there for us, Ian? Okay.
Thank you.
So, just one moment.
Right. So hot off the press before it's actually announced on track. It's a dead heat between traps 1 and 6. A dead heat between traps 1 and 6.
So that's our second dead heat on Talking Dogs TV. There we go. So we're going to head over to Rob. Rob, I believe you have racing manager Michael Dempsey with you there.
Well, I don't have him yet, but it's a little bit like buses, isn't it? We waited so long for a dead heat, and we've got 2 in 2 weeks. I think the race itself probably deserved a dead heat. Great call by you, Barry. Priceless Jet. He weathered a lot of the early traffic problems. But the machine, I tell you one thing, this dog has some pace. Like we saw it last week, his track craft and his pace, and we've seen it again tonight. There's probably not a faster ground in training than him. Dead heat, what can you say? The 2 classic winners, we said hopefully they both go through. And not only that, but they fought out a dead heat, and a second dead heat ever on Talking Dogs TV.
Buses, as you say. I'm just looking at the replay, Rob. I think your nap from last week, Amethyst Luke got up to finish third. He's actually gone past the 2 of them there as they passed the line, Amethyst Luke, so he's definitely running on strongly. 17.52 to the third bend, so it's not flying to the third bend. Obviously that little bit of trouble at the first bend the Priceless Jet was a little bit worse than we thought. Trap 3 was up there for third place, and I can just confirm that a Stewart's inquiry has been called for race number 5. No surprises to guess what they're looking at. Obviously the interference coming off the last bend. I still think he'll go through. Ian, if you were to put one word on it, do you think he'll go through? I think he will.
What was that? I'd sooner not comment on it, to be honest.
Yeah,
if it was me, I'd probably let him through.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Right, we will update you with the outcome of that Stewart's inquiry, but just to confirm, Trap 6, Priceless Jet and the machine have dead heated, and Trap 3, Amethyst Luke is back in third place. They will all go through. So Well, I suppose we did look forward to it as one of the best races of the night. Didn't disappoint, maybe not for all the right reasons, but look, they've gone through anyway, and as I say, we'll keep you up to date with the result of the Stewart inquiry. Race number 6 here, Billy's Diva. She's been such a star around Shelbourne Park over the last couple of years. Unfortunately, she is out. There is no reserve, as you know. Once we go into the second round of these major competitions, there is no reserve running from trap number 2, so it is a 5-dog heat. Just a quick show of betting before we go any further. It's quite tight in the betting. Currently 11-8 joint favourites. Trap 1, I beg your pardon, Broadstrand, Ryan, and trap 3, Ballymacfarone. You're 11-8 joint favourites. Catch Me Flying. A couple of Shrewdies have put this one up during the week. He's 7-2. He can have 10-1 the ultra consistent Gord Kelly Nestor out in trap 6, and 33-1 Barefoot Supremo. So that's in next race. We're hopefully going to get the print of that photo finish up for you as soon as we can. And I must say, just looking behind me here this evening, the track is in magnificent condition, and we must once again say massive thanks to Dave Turner and Derek Garvey. They've been here for so long around Shelbourne Park, and they always have the track looking magnificently. Look, we always take it for granted, but it really is one of the best running surfaces around. Tomorrow night we are once again live from 7:30. We have another 8 heats of the Derby. Of course, Explosive Boy is running tomorrow night. We'll see Susie Sapphire. And heat number 10 tomorrow night. Listen to this for a lineup. In trap 1 you'll have Dearjet Sydney, 2 Skywalker Barry, 3 Penny Lane Sheba, 4 Droopies Yes, 5 Romeo Magico, and 6 Beach Avenue. That promises to be some heat. Dearjet Sydney is 2-1 favourite to win that, an English Derby winner. When you see the likes of Skywalker Barry at 6-1 and Penny Lane Sheba at 6-1, even Droopies Yes in there at 16-1, it really shows you the strength and depth of that competition. Rob will be looking forward to that one tomorrow, I'm sure. Now, we've seen Coolavani Chick finish second to Jack's Little Thing earlier on, and Rob is speaking to trainer Noel Hare.
Yeah, sure am. I'm speaking to a man who obviously has been there on the big stage in the past, so we might touch on that in a few minutes. But Noel Hare, Coolavani Chick, you must be delighted with her.
Yeah, great. It was tough as she is. It's hard to get another week without one that tough, but look, she came out running and well, still there for another week.
Yeah, and we saw her obviously form last week, and we haven't seen much of her since. Was it a race against time to get her ready?
Actually, it was. The pups are only 14 weeks. So look at it. She was so well in herself at home, I just let her off and she was doing her own thing, and she was delighted when she was back into work. She wants to come race, and that's it, you know.
And she improved from last week, which is what you want.
Look, she'll improve again, I'd be hoping, you know what I mean. If you could stay in it, look, every week is a bonus, but look, she loves coming here, so why not? Yeah,
no doubt it floods the memory banks. And was it 2008?
2008,
2008.
Yeah.
The last time the dog completed the big double, you were very much involved.
That's right, yeah. Great memories for he was a great dog, you know. It's this is the place, you know, if you've won good enough, this is the place to do it, you know, but it's not easy.
And there was nights where I think he barely got through, is that correct?
Yeah, it's qualifying. Tough, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No more than her, like, she never knows when she's beat, like, she'll stay plugging away, you know, never knows, but, you know, it's great. It's a great buzz out of it, you know?
Absolutely, well, we hope you enjoyed. You're there for another week.
Lovely, thanks, lads. Okay.
Well, there you go. So Noel Hare, he did it with Shelbourne Aston back in 2008, and Coolavani Chick is in the draw tomorrow night.
Yeah, Shelbourne Aston, what a thrilling finish that was when he just got up to Pip Slip the Lark in the dying strides. It was one of the brilliant Derby finals. Now on to race number 6. It is heat number 5. It's a 5-dog affair. We're going to kick off with number 1, Broadstrand Ryan, who is now currently your 5-4 clear favourite. He's owned by the Ryan Drake of Donovan Syndicate in Cork and trained by John Lenihan. He's one of the most impressive winners from me last week. Displayed brilliant early pace, clocked a 3:38 sectional and stayed on strongly. He's won from this box before. The non-runner in trap 2 will give him all the room he wants early, and he's there to be shot at. He's a very, very likely leader. He held off the machine well last week, turning for home. Machine got to maybe within 3 or 4 lengths of him, and he held that all the way to the line, winning by 3 lengths. Trap number 2, as we've touched on, Billy's Diva. She is a non-runner, no reserve in trap number 2. Ballymacfarone is now 6-4, second favourite for Liam Dowling. He's the son of Ballymac Matt and Ballymac Scala. He beat Priceless Jet in a great race here in round 1 last Friday night, and we just seen Priceless Jet win the last heat. Look, it's easy to forget that that's only his 11th start. He's very capable on his day, and again the vacant trap in trap 2 will help him. He put in some huge performances around Toaster en route to reaching an English Greyhound Derby final only last month. Trap 4 for Brian and Kathleen Murphy is Barefoot Supremo, trained by Paul Hennessy, a son of Ballymac West and Portumna West. Very well bred, this lad. He's lightly raced and he certainly lacks an experience edge against some of these. He has shown that he has a bright future. Look, he was an impressive winner of an A2 here on the 7th of August when winning in 28.49. He will improve with racing, but he does face a very tough task this evening. He's available at 33 to 1 in the betting. Out in Trap 5 we have Catch Me Flying for John and Michael Byrne, trained by Thomas Buggy, a son of SH Avatar out of Roseville. Liz, he's won 10 times a scorer. He's been one of Ireland's fastest when he's on song. A big trial on return to action July the 31st from clocking 29.47 and ran on well behind Jacob Tashadelic last Saturday night. He can go up much better than he did last week and he's likely to improve on that run. He has 29.36 here in the past and Thomas Buggy will be hoping to get him back to that sort of form. Finally, out in Trap 6, Andrew Murray's Gort Kelly Nestor, son of Droopy's Jet and Dream Queen. He's a really likeable tracker, this dog. He always puts up a decent performance and never runs a bad race. Fine run in defeat behind Ballymac Beanie last week. He starts and he stays and he's always a danger, it has to be said, in this sort of competition. He's won almost €17,000 in prize money. He won the Kilkenny Derby in 2020 and he's perfectly drawn as a sole wide seed in this race. Broadstrand Ryan is still your 5 to 4 favourite. He heads the betting, he also heads the parade. Over to you, Ian.
Yeah, absolutely. Just an update there. The way Romerio just after looking for another replay or two of that last race, so it's clearly still been discussed over there amongst the stewards. Meanwhile, on parade. So the runners on parade for Heat 5 of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. In 1 we have Broadstrand Ryan for the Ryan Drake Donovan Syndicate. Trevor Johnny Linehan, very talented son of Ballymac Esky and Droopy's Rihanna. Trap 3, because 2 is vacant, is Ballymac Fair One for Liam Dowling. This is the son of Ballymac Matt and Ballymac Scala. Beaten English Derby favourite but a real prospect. 4, Barefoot Supremo for Paul Hennessy, Brian Murphy, Kathleen Murphy, a son of Ballymac Best and Portumna West. 5, Catch Me Flying, Thomas Buggy for John Byrne, Michael Byrne, a very fast son of Shavatar and Roseville Liz. And out in 6 is Gort Kelly Nestor for Andrew Murray, a son of Droopy's Jet and Dream Queen. It's Heat 5 of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. They're on the way to traps, ladies and gentlemen. Not long left to get involved.
Yeah, thanks a million, Ian. Rob, I'm going to side here with Broadstrand Ryan and Trap 1, 5 to 4. Jolly, what way do you think this one's going to go?
Yeah, it's going to be all about early pace, you'd have thought. Broadstrand Ryan had the best sectionals last week, but it'll be interesting to see what will happen to the third bend because Ballymac Fair One will be closing on him. I looked at last week's races a few times and I thought Catch Me Flying, I was very close to napping him up. He's not going to be the fastest away, but he's going to be flying home. From the third bend, he's 2 3/4 lengths faster than Ballymac Fair One and he's over 3 lengths faster than Broadstrand Ryan. If this lad gets a clear run, remember he got held up last week from the second bend, I'd be very sweet on Catch Me Flying's chances. Remember, he did so well in the Derby last year. I think it was 150 to 1 anti-post before this year's Classic got underway. If he gets a clear run tonight, I think he'll go very close.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, he has got some great form in the book and 5 Dog Affair will help him get that clear run, Rob. Barefoot Supremo, not known for his early pace, so he could in theory go around third. If he goes around third behind Broadstrand Ryan and Ballymac Fair One, he's every chance of picking them up. Although I think the two top dogs, Broadstrand Ryan and Ballymac Fair One, I think they stay on a little bit better than we're giving them credit for. I'm going to side with trap number 1. Ian, before they load up, your selection.
3 for me, Ballymac Fair One.
Thanks, Ian.
All in. Heat 5, the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. 1, Broadstrand Ryan. 3, Ballymac Fair One. 4, Barefoot Supremo. 5, Catch Me Flying. And 6 is Gort Kelly Nestor. The start all important. Racing, good start by 1, Broadstrand Ryan, and 6 on the outside, Gort Kelly Nestor. Then comes 3, Ballymac Fair One, but it is Broadstrand Ryan with 6, Gort Kelly Nestor and Ballymac Fair One. Gort Kelly Nestor strikes the front from Broadstrand Ryan. 3, Ballymac Fair One now challenging for second, but it's still trap 6, Gort Kelly Nestor. Now Broadstrand Ryan and 3, Ballymac Fair One challenging. Broadstrand Ryan eases in that third bend as he so often does, and 6, Gort Kelly Nestor goes on again. He was a big price for Andrew Murray, but he's going to score. What a performer this fellow is. Second is 1, Broadstrand Ryan, and third was 3, Ballymac Fair One. The winning time 29.75.
Well, I've said this fella's a really, really likeable tracker. Always puts up a decent performance against a good field. There we go. Look, outgone, done his job. He's an absolute credit to Andrew Murray. We've seen him time and time again here on Talking Dogs TV. 10-1 there this evening, and again up against the big boys. Makes no mistakes, does things simple. We've seen him running in sprint competitions. Here it looked like he was going to be swallowed up. Look at trap one, at third bend, he just doesn't run it at all. But in fairness to him, he's a Derby finalist in Ballymacfarone in behind him. He straightens up and he sort of runs away from him going home. Watch trap one finishing again, Broadstrand Ryan up the inside to snatch second. Frustrating for followers of them, although I'm sure they're delighted he's in to the next round. Let's have a look at that replay again. We'll keep our eyes on Broadstrand Ryan at the third bend. But Ian, we've mentioned it time and time again about Gord Kelly-Nestor. Ultra professional.
Yeah, ultra professional. He's just one of those dogs. He just never runs a bad race. And yeah, I didn't really fancy him. I must be said now. But Andrew Murray always gets a sweet tune out of this fellow. Just look at his record. You know, he's an incredible record. And this was his 31st career start. And it's certainly the best performance of his career, beating the likes of Ballymacfarone and Broadstrand Ryan. Broadstrand Ryan just checking up with that third bend again. It's a big problem going forward. You know, there's no point in denying it. Last week it wasn't too bad. But when he's in company, you saw exactly what he's doing. And if he does that in top company, it's lights out, game over. Tonight, Ballymacfarone didn't really get home. A bit disappointed by him. He's not really coming forward from what we saw in Toaster. But listen, he's still a very talented greyhound. He just needs to improve his trapping, because there's no question he has big pace to that third bend. You know, he's 3 lengths off them into the opening corner, and he's right there at the third bend. But Gord Kelly-Nestor is in the perfect pitch to drive that third bend. And once doing so, it was only going to be one winner. Broadstrand Ryan recovered well. He stays on stoutly. We said last week he'd get 600 yards, but at that stage the bird had flown. Gord Kelly-Nestor was 2 clear of Ballymacfarone, who in turn was 3 clear of Broadstrand Ryan, who did storm up the home straight. But no, good winner, Gord Kelly-Nestor. Well done to Andrew Murray. Broadstrand Ryan, very fast greyhound, but I'd say a bit frustrating.
Yeah, he certainly is. You can see him about 15, 20 yards off the third bend. The ears are half gone up. He's sort of thinking about checking. I think he will obviously run it better when he's out in front on his own, but he had Gord Kelly-Nestor there on his outside. You can see him here. I think he's been a little bit disappointing, to be honest with you. 29.66 last week, leads out in front there tonight, 29.70, beating a couple of lengths, 29.75. But if you just watch him closely here, he's flying up the inside of trap 6, and just before he gets to the bend, he's thinking about it. There we go, he's already thinking about it, and no thanks, just not going to run that one. I have a couple of runners on my outside. Look, you think he's going to be lucky to hang on to third turning for home, but amazingly he gets back up for second place. Rob, congratulations to Andrew Murray. Hopefully you get to speak to him in the near future. But what a warrior this Gord Kelly-Nestor is. That's now his 12th win from 31 starts. Look, Broadstrand Ryan just doesn't run that third bend great, but congratulations go to Andrew Murray and Gord Kelly-Nestor.
Yeah, absolutely. He said he's going to join us shortly, and I suppose it's the trend of the night. We've had a little bit of everything. We've had a win for the Hennessy's, a couple of wins for the Hennessy's. We've had Owen McKenna winning. Then maybe we've got one of the lesser men in Andrew Murray. Comes here to Shelbourne most Saturday nights, and Gord Kelly-Nestor, no doubt he's the king of his kennel, and he's just booked his place in the third round of the BoyleSports Irish Derby with a win. It was a race none of us really expected what was going to happen, but in fairness to him, he's done 29.75. It's one of the fastest times of the night, and he's about to join me, and I'm sure he's a pretty proud man. Andrew, I'll let you get your breath, but well done. That was very good.
Thanks. Sensation. I didn't know what to expect tonight. He had a little problem during the week.
Right.
So I didn't know what to expect when the track's open. I thought this.
Was it touch and go he'd even run, or was he always going to run?
I thought last Monday he wouldn't be running.
Okay.
But everything was all right there tonight.
Testament to the dog that he can overcome that and win a second round heat of the Derby.
Yes, it's a novelty for me. I have never been here.
And you're a Tipperary man, you're a Thurles man, is that correct?
Upper Touch man.
Yeah, and he's been running in Thurles, but he's a regular here at Shelbourne as well.
Yeah, he liked Shelbourne. He did 28.47 here and 29.62 earlier in the year.
Yeah.
And I tried to give him a break, but I had a little problem with him when he came back. And then I ran him in the Tip Cup in the first round, and he had a little problem after that again. And he seems to have got over it now.
Absolutely, yes. So you're in the third round draw. Tip might be playing in the hurling on Sunday, but you're going to be back up here next
week.
week.
You think it's at least to my concern now?
Yeah.
Not a hope. This is number one.
The trip home will be fairly short tonight, I've no doubt about that.
It will be Limerick's All Ireland this time, I think, without doubt.
Well done.
Thank you.
There you go. So Tipperary, a win for Tipperary here tonight. He's most definitely the happiest man in Shelbourne right now. And Gord Kelly-Nestor, brilliant stuff. Just another jigsaw part of this great derby.
Yeah, well done, Rob. It's brilliant to see the smaller kennel represented at such a high level. It really is brilliant for for Gord Kelly Lester there and Andrew Murray. He's, as I say, we've seen him on Talking Dogs TV before. Ran a blinder here against, I think it was Beach Avenue one night, but like, he really is. He wears his heart in his sleeve, goes out and does his best every night. So congratulations to Andrew. Hope he gets a favourable draw in next week's third round. Wide seed, so he's most likely to get trap 6 again next week. So Ian, we have a moment. You ready?
Let's go.
Here we go. Right, Ian, I'm going to give you olden times for Reggie Roberts.
I don't believe so.
Correct. Semi-finalist in 2002. I'll get you. I'm running out of them, but I'll get you. Okay. Digital.
No.
Semi-finalist in 2005. An easy one now. Advantage Johnny. Oh, McKenna. Black Dog.
I'm going to say no.
Yes, he was a finalist in 2008 in the race with Shelbourne Aston and Slip the Lark. I think it was billed as what would lead between himself and Slip the Lark on the run to the bend. And
you got me.
I got you. I'll keep a couple more up my sleeve, Ian, just for sleeve, Ian. Huh? I never thought of that.
No comment.
Right. Any word on that Stewart's inquiry? Still nothing, no?
Still nothing. And no news is good news for the connections to the machine. I assume they won't call out anything if it's clear, but I'll make a phone call and we'll see what the story is. But I would say at this point that it's a case of the machine progresses.
Yeah. We're hearing something there. I'll let you hear that. You know,
I can't hear it, unfortunately.
Okay, well that makes two of us can't hear it because Dave is driving around in the tractor behind me. Anyway, look, the next heat we have is race number 7, and this features Ballymac Wild. He's a dual classic winner. He's in as short as 8 to 11. He actually has a good chance to lead up and make all here tonight when you look what's on his inside. Droopy's Wyatt 12 to 1. He's won over 6 bends, not renowned for his early pace. Derby's Delight is another strong running youngster for Needius O'Connell. Again, not a dog with huge early pace. Look, Ballymac Wild is not renowned for massive early pace either, but he can go up well. A couple of decent sectionals there recently, 343, 344. Even last week a 354 was good enough to get him to the lead, and went on to score in 29.66. Scooby Princess probably rates his main danger. She's running really well for Jennifer O'Donnell. She's recently returned from a short break and she seems to be as good as ever. She was a length behind Romeo Magico here on August the 7th, and she ran well to force a dead heat here last week. Gumbo Chowman will be an outsider for Sean Kenny, currently about 33 to 1 on Tip Top Tailor for Paul Ryan. I've seen Paul come in with this one earlier on this evening and she looked in great form. So let's look at them in more detail. We will start with Trap 1, Droopy's Wyatt. He's owned by Eamon Ryan and Emmett Cronin, trained by Robert Gleeson. He is a son of Lawhill Duke and Droopy's Sylvia. He won the Dundalk Derby Trial Stake. He's won the TP Weedick 730 in Kilkenny. He won a good competition up in Dumbrow and a good 575 competition around here a couple of months ago. He always runs a good race. Ran on well behind Scooby Princess and Cragan Moore here last week. He's well drawn and he could nick a place on the inside. He might be one for trios. Ian, I'm going to go to you. Have you any news hot off the press?
I do. I said no news was good news for the connections to the machine, but there was news, and it seems the machine's derby is over. He is going to have to face one conduct trial, and it means that his place in the derby is gone, and now that 4th place finisher will progress. That's Deadly Samurai, so he lives to battle on another day, but I'm afraid for the machine, the derby is over.
Okay, that's a story that will rumble on and rumble on. So Rob, I will throw to you for a minute. You have John Lenihan there with you?
I sure do, yeah. It's a big couple of days coming up for Cork. We're going to talk greyhounds first because Broadstrand Ryan, John, has got through. We love him up here. He seems like a greyhound who's been around forever, but tonight was only his 14th race.
That's all, yeah. He started in an unraced in Tralee, and after Tralee we were eliminated. We brought him up here and we said, look, give him a couple of races here, keep tipping away here, in plan for the Derby. So look, he qualified and we're still there, we're happy.
Yeah, obviously he runs well out of any box, but one appears to be the one that you want most of the week.
Yeah, look, one, he's absolutely mad for the rails. One is his trap. He's a very tight railer. Actually glanced off the rail down at the third bend there, going back a couple of races ago, and he might be thinking about it there. Some nights he's not the greatest bend runner, you know, so look, we're still there, so happy to be here.
Yeah, well, if he's doing that and still qualifying, it just shows you how good he is.
Yeah, look, he's plenty pace, and he's a good dog from the word go, so we're delighted to be here.
Now, he loves the red jacket. There'll be plenty of red in Croke Park on Sunday. These are the underdogs. Will it suit?
Yeah, look, we're the underdogs. Limerick are a superb team, and it might suit them, and looking forward to Sunday also.
Well, the one thing for sure is you're in the heat, the second round draw, and you've got 2 more tomorrow, Droopy's Yes and Galvarino.
That's correct, yeah. We have Droopy's Yes. He's in a hot enough heat. Look, it's all about qualifying and hanging in there, so hopefully we will.
Best of luck tomorrow and best of luck Sunday.
Thanks very much. Thanks.
Well, there you go. So a Cork man smiling in Dublin. One wonders, will there be 20,000 odd doing it on Sunday?
Yeah, quite possibly so. Johnny did mention there that Droopy's Yes is in hot heat next or tomorrow night. He certainly is, as we mentioned that heat earlier on with all those top class dogs in that heat. As we've already mentioned, Droopy's Wyatt here in Trap 1. We've gone through him. We will go through the rest of the runners once they go on parade. Just about to do so. Ballymacwild is still your 8-11 favourite. It's 2-1 Scooby Princess, 5-1 Derby's Delight, and it's 12-1 Bardo's 3. They're just about to go on parade. Ian here for race number 7. I'll pass over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, disappointment there for the Connections of the Machine, but obviously delight for the Connections of Deadly Samurai. These things happen in greyhound racing, and one conduct trial isn't too bad. The real problem is missing out on his place in the 3rd round of the Derby, a dog that certainly looked likely to go into the latter stages. But we move on. Heat 6 should I say, of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby is next. 1 Droopy's Wyatt for Robert Gleeson, Eamon Ryan, Emmett Cronin, a son of Lawhill Duke and Droopy Sylvia. 2 is Ballymacwild, trained by Liam Dowling, a son of Vulturi and Ballymac Breeze. 3 is Derby's Delight, Neelis O'Connell, Conor Byrne and Leonard Kinsella, a son of Overlimit and Kitty's Box. 4 is Scooby Princess, Jennifer O'Donnell and Steve Noble, a daughter of Ballymac Esky and Mount Taylor Queen. 5 is Gunboat Showman, 4 Sean Kenny, son of Lawhill Blake and Dynamic Trend, and out in 6 is Tip Top Taylor, owned by Paul Ryan, a daughter of Droopy Sydney and Marlfield Taylor. It's Heat 6 of the BoyleSports Derby. They're on the way to Traps. Not long left, ladies and gentlemen, to place your bets.
Thanks a million, Ian. OK, so Rob, before I finish my preview of the runners, Ballymacwild is going to go off short here. It's very hard to oppose him.
Absolutely. Listen, we say it every time we talk about him. He ticks all the boxes. He's turned up to every dance, and he's the greyhound to beat. Even if you look at the sections from last week compared to Scooby Princess, they'd similar splits early on. He was a length and a half clear of her to the 3rd bend, and he's even coming home stronger than her by about half a length. So she'll need to probably be level to have any chance of picking him up. He's got everything, and we know he can do it from. He can do it from any box, but we know he can do it from Trap 2. Droopy's White doesn't have much early inside him. You've got Scooby's Princess. The most Tip Top Taylor, if she flashed out, we know she stays well. She might be a little bit of value on the Bark and Buzz app, but really it's a matter of Droopy's Wild. A little bit like Jack's Little Thing earlier on. He just needs normal look and running, and he'll win. Even though Jack's Little Thing didn't get that, and he still won.
Rob, I just noticed Scooby Princess was 2-1. She's now 7-2. That's quite a big price about one with such pace. So we were looking at the runners. Ballymacwild, look, we are running out of ways to describe this dog with how good he is. He was excellent again last week. Made a little bit of trouble at the first bend, but he powered his way through to go on and score by 6 lengths. He was an Irish Derby finalist in 2020. He was an English Derby finalist in 2021. We've seen him win the Shelbourne 600. He won the Juvenile Classic in 2020. And Droopy's Wyatt in 1 is not renowned for his early pace. Neither is Trap 3, Derby's Delight. Ballymacwild has a good chance to go up and make all, and if he does, he'd be near on impossible to catch. Speaking of strong runners, Derby's Delight for Conor Byrne, Leonard Kinsella, trained by Needius O'Connell. He is a strong running youngster. Just failed behind Razzle Dazzle Monarch here last week. Really flies home, but will need to keep tabs on some of the early runners in this race. Fine win around Limerick the 3rd of April when he clocked 28.42, beating Ballymac Merlin, and a big trial here on the 24th of April, clocking 28.37. Trap 4, Scooby Princess. Well, we look at Ballymacwild's record. He's got 16 wins from 42 races. Scooby Princess has 16 wins from 41 races. She was 2nd in this year's Oaks. She won the SIS Limerick Oaks. She's hugely fast, and as I said earlier on, she recently returned from a layoff, and she looks to be back as good as ever. Ian, I'm going to side with Ballymacwild. I know you're a big fan of the dog. The 8-11 is gone. 4-7. Does that tempt you?
It doesn't tempt me. That'll be no surprise, when they knows me, odds on, look on and all that, but as odds on chances go, I can see why he is. He should lead up the likes of 1 and 3, Droopy's Wyatt and Derby's Delight. Scooby Princess is capable of taking a flyer, especially from Trap 4. That's the box she wants to be in. She'll go up straight from 4. It's about the only trap she really does go up straight from, and she's a leading fancy. Don't be surprised if Tip Top Taylor runs well, and Derby's Delight be coming home with a wet sail. Cracking race, but Ballymacwild for me. Runners in traps for Heat 6 of the Derby. In 1, Drubby's Wyatt. 2, Ballymac Wild. 3, Derby's Delight. 4, Scooby Princess. 5 is Gunboat Showman. And 6 is Tip Top Taylor. Hare up behind traps. Racing. Good start by 4. Scooby Princess. 2, Ballymac Wild. Up her inside to the bend. Scooby Princess. Ballymac Wild. Then comes 5 in their outer. That's Gunboat Showman. But into the back, and it's Scooby Princess that leads by a length and a half. 2, Ballymac Wild giving chase, and 5, Gunboat Showman. But Scooby Princess still in front to the third bend by a length. Ballymac Wild trying his best to bridge the gap, but it's now down up to 2 lengths, 2.5 lengths. Scooby Princess, she's relentless out front off the final turn. A brilliant winner for Jennifer O'Donnell and Steve Noble. Scooby Princess wins in 29.40. Ballymac Wild second and Gunboat Showman third. Very fine display by Scooby Princess.
Scooby Princess does the business there for Steve Noble and Jennifer O'Donnell. Ian says she's well capable of taking a flyer from trap 4, and she did exactly that. Just makes the bend ahead of Ballymac Wild, and she was going to be very, very hard to pass from here. Ballymac Wild, we know how strong he is. He gives it his best shot down into the third bend, but as we've seen Scooby Princess come from behind so many top class performers in the past, when she led she was always going to be very, very difficult to pick up. Trap 5, Gunboat Showman runs a blinder back in third place for Sean Kenny, and of course Ballymac Wild, he's still in there pitching in the third round. But Scooby Princess, she stays strongly, 29.40. I think it's the fastest time of the night so far. Ian, she was 2-1 earlier on in the evening, and 7-2 just as they were going to traps. I asked you was 4-7 Ballymac Wild value, but 7-2 Scooby Princess, that was certainly value.
It certainly was. Like 2-1 was our price. You know, you thought Ballymac Wild would just have enough to hold her into the corner, but when he didn't, you know, Scooby Princess is not one you want to be trying to pick up. When she gets to the front, she's so powerful, she's so strong. You know, even the back straight pace to contain Ballymac Wild, and then once she got to that third bend, she quickly opened up. She's gone on by 2 lengths, 2.5 lengths. Quickly, it's 3 lengths as they're turning for home. That was very impressive by Scooby Princess. We know how fast she is, but you know what's even more impressive? The training performance from Jennifer O'Donnell. This lady, Scooby Princess, has been on the go since the very start of the year, and week in, week out, she has run absolutely tremendously well. Jennifer has given her breaks when she can, and the bitch has really just done everything for her. She has just produced every time she's gone to the track, and this just another performance of, you know, the highest quality from Scooby Princess. If you gave her trap 4 every night in that type of contest, she'd be a leading player. She will move to the middle from the inside, and she won't always have a heat where she can clear them as easy as she did there. You know, she'll be facing dogs with better early speed in the future rounds, but she is so strong that we know she can do it from the front and from behind. And you know, another lady winning here tonight. Brilliant performance by Scooby Princess.
It was a big performance by Scooby Princess. That's only her third run back from a small break, and she's running as well as ever. She finished second behind Romeo Magico, a dead heat last week, and puts in that performance there tonight. Now, a man that most of us would love to speak to now at the moment regarding that Stewart's inquiry with the machine, he's gone to join Rob Carlison. Rob, I believe you have racing manager Michael Dempsey. A difficult decision, I'm sure.
Yeah, I have Michael with me. I'm going to go easy on him, obviously, because it's not a tough process. But Michael, we saw it was a great race, full stop, and we saw the machine do what he does down the back and show brilliant pace. But he's were left with a tough decision, and he's come up with an outcome which probably wasn't easy.
No, tough decision. It wasn't easy, but it was a decision that had to be made, unfortunately, and the dog wasn't sent out to do it.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate for Connections, but we had to make the call, and it had to be done. You know, that moved in, head went in on just at the line, just before the line. So tough decision, but unfortunately these things have to be done.
Absolutely, and that obviously means now he can't run in the Derby, and Deadly Samurai comes in. Is that correct?
Yeah, the 4th place finisher in that heat moves forward now into the next round. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Right. We're done talking about that, so you can. Okay. Great racing so far. We've just seen Scooby Princess. She's a regular here. She was on Talking Dogs TV earlier in the year, and she's as good as ever. Yeah,
she flew out there, and she stayed on strong to it, didn't she? They weren't coming back to her like. And Ballymac Wild, who's going to bed again, him getting to another final. Like, he really ran well behind her, but just shows her class. Like, she just held off a strong field there. But good performances on the night. Andy Murray there, Gurkel and Esther here on really well. You know, you're on. It's great for the big trainers, but it's nice to see the likes of Andy there.
It is.
He's mixing it with the best of them here all year. You know, so. Yeah. But some good performances on the night, and look, there's half of the dogs tonight are leaving the event and half are going forward, so you're going to have some big ones will go by the wayside too, you know.
Yeah, and I suppose the third round draw then after racing tomorrow night.
Third round draw tomorrow night, yeah.
We're bound to have some brilliant buckles.
Oh yeah, definitely, because it's all tightening up now, isn't it? You know, they're all going to start meeting each other now. But no, it's exciting and we're all looking forward to it.
Yeah, well done. Not an easy job tonight, and you've done it well.
No, thanks, Robert, thanks.
Well, there you go. So Michael Dempsey keeping us up to date, everything here at Shelbourne Park, and plenty to look forward to.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. Look, it's obviously not an easy decision to make. I think the debate's going to rumble on and on. Did he have a go? I don't think he turned his head. Personally, that's my own opinion. I don't think he definitely had other things in his mind. He didn't go past. He should have went past, but I don't think he turned his head. Is it the right decision? I think there will be a split. I know people who back the machine will say let him through. He might book up his act next week. But look, I think it's the stigma now that goes with that he's out of the Derby and he will have to go back and do a couple of qualifying trials. But look, there's no doubt he has the pace. It's gutting for the connections, the matches. It really is. You wait a lifetime to have a dog like that. He is one of the fastest dogs you'll ever put a lead on, and to be knocked out of a Derby in those circumstances, well, it really, really does hurt, I'm sure. Anyway, back to the 8th race here this evening. It is the 7th heat of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. Round 2, of course. This one is a cracking little heat. Plenty of early pace in it. Betting earlier on this evening. A couple of joint favourites. Camico 9-4 in trap 1. And Rob's Nap Macho Pride at 9-4. Rob, I'll just bring you in here for a second. We spoke at the top of the show about Macho Pride, 9-4. I think if he leads, he could take all the beating. Grangeview Mac in trap 2 has a decent early pace. I think that's the key to the race, leading up Grangeview Mac. We'll go back to Rob. But I think that is the key to the race. We've seen Grangeview Mac last week. He come in as a reserve. He didn't actually fly out of the traps. He ran against Mallogs Marley. Mallogs Marley flew out, and still Grangeview Mac headed him into the bend. Clocked at 3:36. Did tie up slightly coming home, as you can see. He drifted off the last bend, a sign of tiredness. But look, he is only in October 19. He's got 4 wins from his 7 starts. He is a very exciting prospect indeed. So we will run through the runners 1-6 here. In trap 1 we have Camico for Larry O'Rourke, trained by Graham Holland, a son of good news and mysterious ways. He's a model of consistency, this fella. He's 2 from 3 out of trap 1 over 550 at Shelbourne Park. He's won races around Kilkenny, Clonmel, Cork, Toaster and Shelbourne Park, and he ran well in the English Derby. And we hope he goes well here for Produce Stakes sponsor Larry O'Rourke. He's currently your 9-4 joint favourite. Trap 2 is Grangeview Mac for Patrick Guilfoyle, owned by Michael Horgan in Nina. Very exciting prospect with massive early pace. As I mentioned, he came in as a reserve into the competition last week. 3:36 sectional was the same as Jack's Little Thing. He's very likely to improve, and as I mentioned at the top of the show, he's a half runner to Grangeview 10, who was a lightning early pace runner around here a couple of years ago. Trap 3, Triangle Hugo, owned and trained by Brendan Murphy, a son of Droopy's Jet, and Triangle Serena. Good winner last week when making all at only his second start around Shelbourne Park. The trap won't hold any issues for him. He's won 6 of his 13 wins have come from trap number 3. He's good early pace all around him tonight. He will need a flyer. He did lead all the way last week. He will need a similar start again tonight. Trap number 4, Macho Pride. This is Rob's nap of the evening. The Under the Stars Syndicate owned this fellow, trained by Gary Silcock. He was an impressive winner last Saturday night. He did run from trap 1, but he edged wide all the way up to the run-in, all the way up to the corner, I should say. Probably did end up in about lane 3 or 4. This trap could suit him. He ran really well down in Dundalk in the recent Derby trial cycle and just caught close home by Droopy's Wyatt. Will be seeing the best effect if leading early here. That's trap 4, Macho Pride. Trap 5, Coombe Leo. Well, this one was backed by a couple of Shrewdies last week. At long odds to win the competition outright. He is an improving youngster. He does have a good card. He's 5 wins from 11 starts. He ran well for a long way on his return to action here last week following a short layoff. He previously had shown plenty of early pace around Tralee and Toaster during the Derby. He faces plenty of competition for the early lead tonight against the likes of Grangeview Mac, Triangle Hugo and Macho Pride. And finally, out in trap 6, Marion Maloney's Sizzler. This one's a son of Law Hill Blake, an Illusion Dream, trained by Graham Holland. He's an experienced runner with massive pace. He needs to lead, I think, to be seen at his best. He went up well behind the impressive Ballymac area last week, but faded away down the back straight when he was led. Look, he can and he must improve on that effort. He steers a wide course throughout, but if he gets on the bunny, as we've seen a couple of weeks ago when he beat the likes of Skywalker Barry around here July the 10th, he's very, very pacey dog indeed. He's consistent around here, but as I say, look, when once headed, he tends to sort of raise the white flag. I think trap 2, Grangeview Mac, can go up better than last week. Kamiko, he's not always as consistent at the boxes. Grangeview Mac was 7-2 during the week. I think that's a fair price. Ian, I think he's one of your... Is he your nap this evening, Grangeview Mac, your next best?
My next best, but sure, what does that mean, the way I've been tipping them tonight? Obviously, I'm depending on him getting to the front early. I think it's going to be a real cavalry charge. If they all hit the lids on level terms, I think he'll be bang there on the corner. If he misses the kick, he's no chance. But if he does start well, I think he's a really bright prospect going forward. Of course, he ran so well in the Champion on Race Stake down at Kilkenny. Now under the care of Pat Guilfoyle, he couldn't be in better hands. He did have doubts about entering the dog in the Derby. He was in as a reserve, of course, last week, and now that he's there, I think he's entitled to run a big race. And yeah, I'm just hoping that he comes away on terms, perhaps leads Kamiko in those opening few strides and gets to the bend. If he does lead, it's the type of contest where I think the leader will go on to win, and I'm taking a chance at his Grangeview Mac.
And Pat Guilfoyle, I'm also going to tip up Grangeview Mac, so that's myself and Ian Fortune putting the mockers on Grangeview Mac. Rob, you have Jennifer O'Donnell, trainer of Scooby's Princess, joining you.
Absolutely, yeah. Jennifer's here with us. We're obviously very familiar with Scooby Princess, and Jennifer very much back to her best tonight.
Yeah, she did. She came away well, and once she got around the bend in front, it's going to be very, very hard to pick her up, because usually she's the one coming from behind. So lightweight, we just wanted to qualify tonight, so a win is a bonus. Yeah, because we remember obviously she was down in the Limerick Oaks, and she was running late last year, and she was running the Sporting Press Irish Oaks, and she's rocked up in the Derby, and she's done the fastest run of the night now. Yeah, look, we kind of campaigned her mostly with the bitches up to now to kind of give her a chance. Look, she's super consistent. She got the semi-final last year, she ran up the Oaks this year, and she picked up Limerick Oaks on the way. So look, anything she does now is a bonus, because we're just super proud of the year that we have had with her. Like, since we started this year, she's been either first or second in all her races, so what more can you ask from her? We'll keep up the good work, and hopefully we're talking to you next week. Thank you, fingers crossed. Yeah, there you go. Scooby Princess, the latest of the big names in the third round draw.
A son of Droopy's Jet, Triangle Serena, with 13 wins in his card, including an 8-1 success last week. 4 Macho Pride, a fine display of early speed last week for the Under the Stars syndicate and Gary Silcock, son of Good News and Sylvia's Chloe. The way he ran last week, 4 shouldn't be a problem. 5 is Coom Leo from Michael Murphy, Pat Buckley, an early pace son of Droopy's Sydney and Liz Naboy Scolari. Failed to get loose earlier on last week. Can he do so here? He'll need to. And out in 6 is Sizzler for Graham Holland and Marion Maloney, second runner for Graham, a son of Law Hill Blake and Illusion Dream. He'll stay nice and wide. He'll avoid any traffic, you'd imagine, if there is on the inside. He's very fast, but he does tend to throw away a little bit of ground on the bends. It's an intriguing contest. So much will depend on the opening exchanges. They're on the way to traps. Not long left to place your bets.
Thanks a million, Ian. So, Rob, I will fly to you. This is your nap of the night, Macho Pride. You're taking on Ian Fortune's next best in Grangeview Mac. I've sided with Grangeview Mac tonight, but the race to the corner here, Rob, between 2 and 4 will be all important.
Yeah, it's pressure for Ian. He needs to tip up a winner shortly, or else he's going to be trailing. But yeah, it's a fascinating buckle, and it's going to be a fascinating buckle to the first bend. There's not much between them early on. Kamiko obviously can go better to the bend, but it was his pace from the winning line to the third bend that I just thought was significant with Macho Pride. Like, Grangeview Mac has gone from having the second best sectional crossing the winning line to back to tied 6, so he's not going as hard at the third bend as maybe he is early on, and he's sort of struggling late on, and I just thought Macho Pride ticked an awful lot of boxes. He impressed an awful lot of people here last week, and I think if he gets a flyer, he's going to be the greyhound to beat.
Yeah, he really did impress me. I must say he did show great pace, and you're exactly right in what you said. From the line to the third bend, he really did accelerate. So, look, he's a nice prospect. He did run well, as I mentioned, down in the Dundalk Derby Trial Stake. I think he had been sprinting in Dundalk. Might have went a round or two on the bar 1. So they obviously think he has plenty of early pace. It's going to be a fascinating contest. All eyes on how trap 2 Grangeview Mac comes out. I think he went up well, like behind Mallogs Mardy last week. Mallogs Mardy's no slouch when he hit the lids, and he gave him a length and a beating to the corner. So myself and Ian Fortune are on trap 1 Grangeview Mac. Ian, it's over to you.
Thanks, Barry. You heard the bell. Heat 7 of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. 1 is Comico, 2 Grangeview Mac, 3 Triangle Hugo, 4 Macho Pride, 5 Coom Leo, and out in 6 we have Sizzler. The hare well on the way now for this Heat 7 of the Derby, and away they go, and a good start by Trap 3. Triangle Hugo straight inwards, but he leads into the bend from the inside. Comico, now 6 Sizzler arrives on the outside, and Sizzler will clear the bend and races on from in second 3 Triangle Hugo. Plenty of bumping and barging in behind, but at 6 Sizzler got on clear to the third bend. There's going to be another winner tonight for Graham Holland. Back in second is 3 Triangle Hugo. There's a gap back to the rest, headed I believe by Trap 2 Grangeview Mac, but off the final turn, and it is 6 Sizzler goes on to score from 3 Triangle Hugo and 2 Grangeview Mac. A messy affair, but Sizzler avoided the traffic and goes on to win in 30.01.
30.01, thanks Ian. I can confirm Comico is absolutely fine after his tumble at the second bend. He ran on well to the pickup. Doesn't look like any big issues there. Well, Triangle Hugo dive for the inside. It really gave Trap 2 Grangeview Mac not much of a chance, and we've seen the two that we thought would lead, Macho Pride and Grangeview Mac, were at the back of the field early. We didn't see that coming. Sizzler, he was well drawn. Look, we mentioned how wide he runs. I know he's a wide runner, but I didn't think he'd do this off the last bend. For a moment, I thought he was actually going to throw it away. Look how wide it is. You think of Tyler or Big Mike. There you go, Tyler or Big Mike. That's how you run wide. But look, he stays on strongly. He is a better greyhound when he's out in front. 30.01. He can go quicker than that. Last week he faded out a little bit when headed by Ballymac Ariel. Look, he's a better greyhound once he's in front. Ian, we didn't think this was going to happen so early on with Triangle Hugo coming across and 4 missing the break too. Yeah,
it got a bit messy then on the opening corner. I didn't see Triangle Hugo cutting in quite as much as he did. A bit messy. You know, obviously 1 Comico hit the deck there, but he's fine. He's up and racing. Not a bother on him. 6 Sizzler though did avoid the traffic, and we did say that before the race, that if there was traffic on the inside, he was likely to avoid it because he does run so wide. This is no surprise off the final bend. That's just his racing line, but he's very quick on the straights, and when you're very quick in the straights, well, you can get away with it, and that's exactly what he did. 30.01. It wasn't one of the fastest heat winners, but it was certainly an impressive display by Sizzler. And you know, Marion Maloney, who has had some great dogs in the Derby over the years, here's another one, Sizzler, another dog that they've got to the third round of the Derby. No mean feat, and another winner tonight for Graham Holland.
Yeah, Graham's dogs are in flying form. Triangle Hugo, as you mentioned, he ran from Trap 3 last week. Look, I'd have to go back and look at the replay, but I don't remember him diving in as marked as that, or else I suppose both of us wouldn't have picked Grangeview Mac in Trap 2. As regards Sizzler's wide running off the last bend, I overheard a man in the betting shop many years ago seeing a dog running wide like that at Monmore, and he said what you're supposed to do is put weights on the left hand side of their jackets. Now whether that works or not, that's up to debate. Rob, no look there for your selection. Macho Pride, we picked 4 to lead, you picked we picked 2 to lead, you picked 4 to lead. It was very hard to see anything else lead, but that's just what happened.
Yeah, it's a bit of a carbon copy to last Friday. We couldn't pick a winner between us, and we were being shown up by Debbie, and Sarah Kinston's done pretty much the same to us tonight. But yeah, it was a messy race. Macho Pride was probably the one who maybe caused the trouble because he's missed a break and he's shown us good early, and by the time he's got to them, they're at the first bend, and there's obviously an awful lot of traffic problems. But shows you if you're a wide seat and there's issues in on the inside, it's the place to be. And Sizzler, we know he runs this place well, we know he runs it wide, but it most definitely paid tonight, and as you said, a double in the night for Graham Holland.
And just to mention there for Grangeview Mac, we did have him down as a non-stayer. He ran on well to qualify in third place. Hopefully all's okay with him. He didn't seem to suffer any major trouble or anything like that, but he's through another round, and look, didn't get the clearest run early. We know he has huge early pace. He's through to another round. Decent draw next week, and you never know what might happen. Ian, while I have you, have we time for a couple more of the chase? Ian are you ready, Ian? Diddle-a-diddle-a-do.
Diddle-a-diddle-a-do.
Can we bring Rob in? We've a couple left and see can Rob redeem himself.
Okay.
Right, here we go. Right, Rob, I'll start with you. Shane Boyle, finalist or not a finalist?
I'd say a finalist.
Yes, Rob. Rob is off the mark. Shane Boyle was a finalist in 2009 in the race won by College Causeway. Right, Ian, over to you. Vulturi.
Yes, finalist.
Yes, congratulations, Ian. He was a finalist in 2014. You've one more each. Rob, over to you. JT Jet.
Not Irish, English.
He was an English Derby finalist, and he was a semi-finalist in 2016. Very good. Right, and the final one, over to you, Ian Fortune, to level it up. Dale Inferno.
To level it up? Are you kidding me?
This is a new game.
I'm a mile in front.
No, this is a new game.
Yeah, I could nearly give you the commentary in the Dale Inferno Derby final. Cool Performance won it from a fast finishing late show, and Dale Inferno was in behind with the likes of Tiny's Bud, Droopy's Kuel, and what was the last runner? Was it Droopy's Vieri?
No.
It was Droopy's Vieri. No, it wasn't. It was Droopy's Kuel. I've already met. Yeah, I think Droopy's Vieri might have been in that final as well.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, let's go to Google now. That was a great, Cool Performance. Once he was headed that night, he was probably... Was it Tiny's Bud led down the back straight?
Yeah, Tiny's Bud led them down the back straight. Cool Performance was always on her shoulder, went to the front. Dale Inferno arrived with a rush off the last bend. Droopy's Kuel was always on the pace. It was just the most remarkable Derby final. You know, my late father, everyone talks about the College Causeway commentary. That was his greatest ever commentary, that Cool Performance Derby. That was a absolute perler. One of the great Derby finals.
That was brilliant. I was here that night, and I think was Tiny's Bud was a full sister to was it Droopy's Kuel. Then you could be right.
Yeah, they were out of Perry's Pusher. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there we go.
Larkill Joe, Perry's Pusher.
Okay, fair enough. Like I was just happy enough to say that there was two little brothers in it. But you're supposed when you've nothing else to do than look at greyhound racing all day.
I have plenty more to do, to be honest.
I have a real job apart from this as well. You know what I mean? Right, Rob, you're there with Brendan Murphy.
Yeah, I sure am. We're here with Brendan Murphy of Triangle Hugo. Brendan, before we look at tonight, we didn't get a chance to speak to you last week. You must have been very proud.
Yeah, very happy with the dog. Yeah, he came away well last week. A lot of area in that race tonight.
Yeah.
Lucky enough to get in the meal anyway, you know. So. Second and done me, third it would have done me anyway. So happy to be there again anyway for next tonight.
Because it was a race tonight, an awful lot of things could have happened, and it did.
It did.
And your lad just maybe his battling qualities maybe came out.
He got in on, got away then down the back. So yeah.
And we see 46 race tonight. He's certainly not losing his touch.
Oh no, he's game as a pebble, the dog.
Yeah.
He loves racing. He's been a right old dog for us now.
And we might get another couple of rounds out of him maybe.
You never know.
You're enjoying the ride anyway.
Yeah, as long as I had a dog in the Derby, so hoping for the best with him, So.
Yeah. Well, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
There you go, Brendan Murphy. He's a man of few words, but you can see he's fairly happy. And Triangle Hugo's in the next round draw.
Cheers, Rob. Congratulations to Brendan Murphy. I have been told that the next race is the Perry penultimate race. Never heard of that one before, but apparently it's the race before the penultimate race. Bit of a tongue twister there. Anyway, in my own language I'd say it's race 9. It's the last heat of the first batch round of second round heats, if you get me. So on to race number 9 here. Let's have a look at them. My Nap goes in action here in trap number 1, Epic Hero. So I think if this fella wins, I will strike the lead. The reason I've selected Epic Hero, he's a former St. Leger champion around Limerick. Look, he was a bit below par here last week, but his trial effort on August the 7th when he clocked 28.28 was superb. He's been quite lightly raced in 2021. He's expected to improve on last week's run, and look, he does need to put a couple of average performances behind him, but the 28.28 trial of a couple of weeks ago suggests that all the ability is still there. So that's why I'm going to nap up trap number 1, Epic Hero. Speaking of a lady who's the only person in the stadium to get her nap up this evening, until my dog runs that is Sarah Kinsella, who gave us Ballymac Art earlier on.
Yeah, she sure did. She's definitely putting us to shame. We can't tip a winner between the three of us, and Sarah's nap has already clicked in. So for those watching, Sarah, let's have a look at the next race, at the last heat on what's been a great night's racing.
Yeah, it's been terrific. I mean, girl power in this derby. I mean, Sing Along Sally, Ballymac Art, Scooby Princess, Ballymac Beanie. We have such talented bitches in the country, and it was 7-2 to Smorn for a bitch to win the derby, so I'd imagine it's going to be cut now again, not by much, but probably by a half a point or so. Just at the final heat, look, I mentioned earlier on Epic Hero, I think he's too short to 5-4. I just think he might come off the fence a little bit. Hopefully he doesn't. I know Kildallan Pearl stays all day at 8-1. It's probably the right price, to be honest, but I just think all about Ted down the bottom at 11-8. He's just got a fantastic chance. We've seen what he could do over in Toaster. He ran incredible. If he can bring that form to here, he should win easy. But Epic Hero is obviously the danger. I'm just afraid of him coming off the fence, so I just would rather go for something. Look, 11-8, 5-4. There's not much difference, but all about Ted for me in 6. Having a good night, actually. Yeah, I tipped on my nap one.
You're flying,
look, what was the saying? Even a blind squirrel finds the odd nut. So
even a broken clock's right a couple of times a day.
Yeah.
But it was funny, last week in the first round we didn't have a single trap 6 winner, and we've already had 2 tonight, so the outside maybe is the place to be.
Yeah, is it maybe with the bit of rain we got today or something? I don't know. I know they say some tracks when it rains it suits the outside, so I don't know. You can believe that if you want. That last race now there was a bit of argy-bargy at the bend, but Sizzler was a good winner, don't get me wrong, but I just thought Camagunny was coming with a beautiful run on the inside, but I spoke to Timmy, he said he's alright after a bit of trouble, so look, serious racing tonight, and we have to do it all again tomorrow. We're lucky, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Anyway, All About Ted is all that matters in the next few minutes.
He's the one for me in this heat.
Cool. Well, there you go. So, All About Ted for All About Sarah here tonight at Shelbourne.
Epic Hero, this the Ledger champion, trained by Tommy O'Donovan for Ger Hutton, the son of Droopy's Jet and Ravenna. 2 in your Carter's Own Spice for Thomas O'Doherty, trained by John Brown, the son of Skywalker Puma and Coolavani Spice. 3 Monbeg Zinzan for Eamon Doyle, a son of Skywalker Luke and Blastoff Fizz. 4 Kildallan Pearl, David Murray for Noreen Weir, a daughter of Droopy's Sydney and Mag's Image. 5 Cricket Bell, Donald O'Neill, a son of Isawak Tain, Coolmount Bally. And out in 6 is All About Ted for Peter Cronin, Willie Rigney, Richard Brown, a son of Kinloch Bray and Enable. Another intriguing contest here tonight. Heat 8, the last of the heats here this evening in the BoyleSports Derby. They're making their way towards traps. Not long left to place your bets.
Thanks a million, Ian. So, Rob, any more squirrels over there? I'm going to go with Epic Hero. What are your thoughts on this race?
Yeah, it's funny. Again, you're looking at the race today, and we could do with anything right now the way things are going. But he's obviously the Ledger champion. He's the only classic winner in the race, but he hasn't won since he won the Ledger, and things really haven't been going his way. And he's only won from 11 here at Shelbourne Park, which is a little bit of a worry. On his best form, there's no doubt about it. He's the greyhound to beat, but he just hasn't been hitting those classic heights of late, and he's very short in the betting. May he win, fair enough, and it'd be great to see him win, but I think he's worth taking on. And listen, when in doubt, I think we have to stick with Sarah Kinsella. But All About Ted, his sectional suggests he's got a big chance here. He should improve from his 30.01 run last week. He stays well, 12.33 from the third bend. So if he can be a bit slicker tonight and get past Cricket Bell, who could run a big race, by the way, at a big price, she's not without her chance. But I think All About Ted on recent form is probably the safest choice.
Yeah, cheers, Rob. I just think there's not much early pace in this heat. The likes of Trap 2, Own Spice, Monbeg, Zinzan, Kildallan Pearl lacks early pace. Cricket Bell, myself and Ian spoke about him at the start of the evening. I think Epic Hero can get a decent run up the inside. And look, the most important thing for me is the ability is still there. He did clock 28.28, and if you look back at all the dogs that trial pre-derby, 28.28 I think was one of the best around, so that's why he gets my nap vote this evening. So Trap 2 here, Own Spice. This fella has a strong running sort when he's on song. He ran on well to qualify behind Kamiko last Friday night. He has some smart form to his name over 525, 550 and 600. It's his first race in almost 2 months last week, so he can be expected to take another step forward from that. Trap number 3 here is Eamon Doyle's Monbeg Zinzan. He usually comes home with a rattle, this fella, and he was only beaten just over 2 lengths last week despite being well off the pace at halfway. He clocked a fast 29.65 over the trip in a trial last August. Does lack a yard of early pace, but will be finishing fast here for Eamon Doyle. Trap 4, Noreen Weir's Kildallan Pearl, trained by David Murray, daughter of Droopy Sydney and Mag's Image. She's another one who will be doing her best work late on. She started well last Friday night, but lacks early pace on the run to the corner before staying on well. She posted a flying 31.07 over 5.75 here on Talking Dogs in May, and she knows this place very well. Actually, all bar 2 of her 19 starts have been around Shelbourne Park. And myself and Ian Fortune did mention Cricket Bell earlier on the programme for Donald O'Neill. He's another massive finisher, and it's very interesting to see from traps 3, 4 and 5 who can turn closest to the leaders. He flew home from well off the pace August the 16th. 6 of his 8 wins have come around here, and 4 of them have come from trap 5, and he's sure to run his usual solid race. So all eyes on Cricket Bell as they head down the far side to see how close he can turn. And your current joint favourite in the race is Willie Rigby. He owns All About Ted here with Richard Brown, trained by Peter Cronin. He's a son of Kinloch Bray and Enable. He looked a star early on in his career around here. He ran really well in the Kirby first round at Limerick, and also put in a couple of big performances around Toaster during the Derby. Didn't set the world alight on his recent return here last week, and he must step up on that run. However, he's a big chance to lead up the outside runners, and may step up on last week's run. I'm still going to side with Epic Hero. As I say, the most important fact is the ability is still there for Thomas Thomas O'Donovan, the 28-28 trial here a couple of weeks ago. He's sure to lead up the inside runners, and I think it's between 1 and 6 what leads at the first bend will go on and take all the beating. Epic Hero, he's been there before, he's done it. I'm going to side with him. That's why he's my nap of the night. Ian, the final word with you as they go to traps.
Yeah, absolutely. I do give Cricket Bell a bit of a life at a massive price, but I think All About Ted is the one to beat. I couldn't really be with Epic Hero, just not quite firing at present. His only win at Shelbourne Park coming actually on the 21st of August 2020 in the second round of the Derby. That too was the 9th race on the card, but it was from trap 3. I think he is better from the middle. Now that said, if he does come away in level terms, he should have the early speed of those on his outside, with maybe the exception of All About Ted, but an intriguing contest all the same. All in. The 9th race, Seat 8 of the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby. 1 Epic Hero, 2 Own Spice, 3 Monbeg Zinzan, 4 Kildallan Pearl, 5 Cricket Bell, and 6 is All About Ted. Racing, good start by trap 6, All About Ted, and Epic Hero up the inside, but it's All About Ted will take the corner from 1 Epic Hero. Then comes 5 Cricket Bell, but out front, and it's 6 All About Ted. 1 Epic Hero though on his tail in second, and 5 Cricket Bell back in third, but 6 All About Ted continues to lead to that third bend. 1 Epic Hero putting in a charge up the inside. He won't get through though, and it's 6 All About Ted that goes on again by a length and a half. Epic Hero steadying himself for another challenge off the final bend. It's 6 All About Ted, and Epic Hero, All About Ted will score from Epic Hero, and 5 Cricket Bell running on in third. The winning time 29.61. It is a fine display by both the winner and the runner-up, and indeed the third ran well too.
Thanks, Ian. Great shout. No luck for us now in the naps competition. 0 from 3 from our presenters here this evening. Look, they both put up a great performance, both All About Ted and Epic Hero, and the first bend lead was vital. Both came away quite well. All About Ted showed slightly the better early pace into the bend, and that was the winning of the race. We could just see there, Epic Hero was just forced to check up slightly as they entered the back straight, and then again up the inside he just challenges at the wrong time here. He gets to within about a half a length, but Epic Hero, or sorry, All About Ted just comes in on top of him. He does launch one more challenge up the inside, but just can't quite get there. Cricket Bell, as we put up at the top of the show, he ran well. He turned really close to the front too, and he's normally a really strong stayer. You can see him there as they go into the escape. He's just about to hit the front, but for Epic Hero and All About Ted to lead Cricket Bell by maybe 4 lengths down the back straight and still have that advantage of 4 lengths as they pass the line, it shows it was a really good performance by the front two in 29.61. Ian, I suppose it was always a case of what led between Epic Hero and All About Ted, but the two dogs, they ran quite well in 29.61.
Yeah, fine display by the winner. I was really encouraged by the run of Epic Hero in second spot. He's forced to check his stride off the second bend. Really came with a powerful challenge down into the third bend. Again, just the gap wasn't really there. All About Ted drove the third bend, and you know, while he did steady himself to have another challenge, if you actually look in the last 15 or 20 strides, All About Ted again kicks and goes on to win with a little bit more in hand. Wins by a comfortable length. Cricket Bell, when he does more early racing, he's not going to finish quite as strongly. I thought he ran well in defeat, back in third spot, but you know, a lot to like about All About Ted. If he just continues to trap, he's a dog that could go a few rounds.
Thanks, Ian. I think those top two can continue to go a couple of rounds. Rob, good contest there. It was the last of our heats this evening. I think Connections have topped it. The first and second would be delighted.
Yeah, absolutely, and I agree with Ian. I'd be very encouraged if you were involved with Epic Hero, because he was most definitely back to his best tonight and didn't get the clear to run to the third bend, so it's good to see him. He's definitely going the right direction, and he's a greyhound now that gets a good draw in the third round. He could be banged there in a couple of weeks' time. But All About Ted, he broke well tonight. We knew he stayed well, and it's good to see the Cronins now. I think that's 2 they've got through tonight after maybe not having a great week last week, so they'll be fairly happy, and hopefully we're going to catch up with Mikey Cronin shortly.
Rob, and just while I have you there, Rob, if somebody was to tell you you'll still be leading the naps after the end of proceedings tonight, you would have thought one of us would have got a winner, and you obviously got 1 or 2 as well, but 0 from 3 again.
Night as we saw last week. Now Mikey's just joined us. Mikey, well done. All About Ted, good to see him back to his best.
Yeah, he ran well, like to hold off the last year's Ledger winner in 29.60. Like he looked to break well, and he drove the first bend, and he rallied on down the back straight, and he was clear by about a length, and he kept that up to the line, which is what he won by.
Yeah, and obviously we saw him at Toaster a few weeks ago, or a couple of months ago, go really well. Was this a competition that then you thought he might do well in?
Yeah, we always thought he'd take the Shelbourne. Like, he won his 0-2 here in 28.30, like, so he really did take
take to the track, and we were just waiting for him to do that big break and see what he done. But tonight he broke well, done everything right, and he done 29.60, which is a good run tonight.
Yeah, second fastest run of the night so far, and no doubt you'll be hoping that he betters that next week.
Yeah, hopefully now he'll go better next week, but just qualifying is the main game.
Yeah, you've got a couple of Jazz Toes a little bit earlier, so it's been a good night.
Yeah, Jazz Toes qualified. He's a good dog. He's pretty honest, he'll tip away, do his own thing, and he's into the third round now for the big bus syndicate in Portlaw, so fingers crossed for the two of them. We'll run tomorrow night, Angry Dad, so hopefully
you might have 3 in the draw.
Hopefully if you've 3 in the third round, you're not doing bad.
Absolutely, keep up the good work.
Thanks, Rob.
There you go, good night for the Crownans, and they've got one more tomorrow night, remember.
Yes, thanks a million, Rob. Excellent work. Now, that's the end of our Derby heats for this evening. Don't forget, we have the remaining 8 heats tomorrow evening, and the trap draw will be made live after racing tomorrow evening. You can see that on our Facebook page. So the next race we have this evening, it's the second last race we will be showing you live. It is a novice 750, and there's some decent sorts in this one. We'll start with trap number 1 here, Ross Rapid for Noel Devlin. He's a son of Droopy's Buick and got the edge. He's a 4 times a scorer, currently on a hat-trick, and he came from well off the pace to score at Dundalk last Sunday night. He's from the Making Merry bloodline, and his dam had good form over 6 bends here. She's also bred some top sprinters, so there's mixed messages coming from the pedigree, so whether he'll stay or not, as I say, the dam has thrown sprinters and dogs over 6 bends. So before we go through the rest of them, Rob, you're joined by Willie Rigney.
Yeah, sure am. We heard from Mikey Cronin of the trainers family, and we're here with Willie Rigney, one of the joint owners. That was more like the All About Ted, Willie.
He's coming there, as I said to you last week, needing the run. I thought he might need the run again tonight, you know. He's getting stronger, and hopefully he came home very strong there. He showed from the third bend home what he's about, you know.
Yeah, because Epic Hero, in fairness, some came back to his best, and your lad had to pull out all the stops.
He did, yeah, going on to the third now. Epic came to him, you know what I mean, and he ran a very clever bottom and came home strong, and he didn't take nothing from Epic. He's a strong dog, you know. Our own lad's a player if you get this trapping right, you know, he's 343 split, which is respectable, you know.
Absolutely.
And you need to be starting to do that at this stage, you know.
Yeah, and there's not too many trap 6. It's been a good night for trap 6, but there's not too many now left in the Derby. If you keep getting your box, you have a big chance.
Yeah, hopefully. He's probably more middle than he is wide. We went wide with him, you know what I mean, because inadvertently here you get wide anyway. We think he'd trap it a bit better off the outside. That's what reason we went that route, you know.
Yeah, but he's a good dog going places.
It is. Hopefully. It's a matter of qualifying, stay in there, hopefully.
Yeah, it's a bonus when you win.
Yeah.
Absolutely, well done.
Thanks very much.
Well, there you go, Willie Rigney, joint owner of All About Ted, and a big player, says Willie, in this year's Derby.
Yeah, and he's not wrong himself, and Epic Hero there certainly have live chances going forward into round number 3. So back to this race, the novice 750. We've looked at trap 1, Ross Rapid, and trap number 2, Droopy Sadio. I'm actually quite familiar with this dog, as I have a Droopy's biker pup myself down with Martin Tucker in Roscommon. I must say Martin's facilities down there are second to none. It's quite reasonably priced as well, €25 a week, and he keeps you updated how your dog is going as regards gallops, and he does have some wonderful facilities down there. So I've been keeping an eye on Droopy Sadio. He's one of the first runners Droopy's biker has had. Look, he doesn't strike me as one of the bravest dogs you'll ever see, but the one win from 12 doesn't really tell the story. He has plenty of pace when he gets a bit of room to run in. His run down in Dundalk on Tuesday night, I think it was, he was absolutely out with the washing when they turned for home, but he got himself a bit of room on the outside actually as they turned from home, and he actually led into the escape. So I think he suffers from a lack of confidence really, but I think once he gets a bit of a clear run, he definitely has a big run in him for Robert Gleeson. Molly's Princess in trap number 3 for Barry Clancy. This one is a daughter of Droopy's agent Casanova. She's another runner on a hat-trick, having won her last 2 around Mullingar. Running style suggests a step up in triple suit, however. Her last 2 runs have come in A5 company, and she faces much tougher rivals tonight than A5 company. Barry's dogs have been running well around Shelbourne Park here recently. So Rob, I'm going to head back to you. You have more connections.
Yeah, it's loads getting out of that concluding heat of the night in the Irish Derby. And Cricket Bell is another name who's got through, and we're here with his owner, Donald O'Neill. You must be very happy with that.
Happy enough, yeah, happy enough.
Bit of an eye catcher, I thought, last week, and tonight's show there was no fluke.
He's maybe 5 or 6 lengths short of being a good dog, being a real good dog, but he's still there, and that's we're going to have to deal with what. Yeah, because it was a tough heat tonight. They think an awful lot of the winner. The second is a Ledger Hero. When your lad was catching them for a good bit. He can run okay.
Yeah.
He can run. He's not a bad dog, but
no, he's not. And that's race 25, 8 wins, so he's fairly consistent, and you're in the third round.
Yeah, third round, and never know what happens.
And tell us a little bit about yourself. Do you have many dogs? Are you in the game long?
Only 10.
10.
And 50 odd years in.
Yeah.
Plenty of dogs. Having one in the next race, not this race, the next race.
Okay.
And a pup. Yeah.
And are you hopeful?
Well, he never was around before, and he's young too. But
sure.
Whatever happens, happens.
Absolutely.
It's in the lap of the gods, isn't it?
But you're in the game a long time. And
a long time in it.
Have you had many in the derbies before?
Never had one in the derby, and I wouldn't have this only for the young lad who's in California, Gary.
Right. Okay.
He told me to put him in.
Right.
And he's here now, and he's through 2 rounds. He's into the next round, so...
If he gets to the final, he might be coming back from California.
Yeah, well, he's coming home anyway, hopefully.
All right. He's confident, so.
Yeah, he is. He's always confident, Gary.
All right, well, good to hear.
Okay.
Well done tonight.
Good man, thank you very much.
Well, there you go. We might even have viewers from California on Talking Dogs TV tonight, because Cricket Bell is into the next draw.
Absolutely brilliant. That's what it's all about. Like, people weren't even going to throw their dog. Like, they weren't going to put Cricket Bell into the Derby, and now look, they're looking forward to being in the third round here next weekend. So really is a brilliant story. On to the Novice 750 here. We're going to now look at trap number 4, Mildeen Onyx, a son of Mildeen Panther, the great Mildeen Panther out of Mildeen Gem. Won a sprint actually around Dundalk late last year, and his only other success was when getting up late over 525 in Dundalk in February. Ran on well behind the useful Mina Miles over 525 up in Dumbro. He's 0 from 2 around Shelbourne Park. Needs a career best here. I'm not entirely sure the trip will suit. He's currently an 8-1 chance for Frank Courtney. The second favourite in this race is David Byrne's drum duet Casper, trained by John Durrigan. He's another son of Good News out of Arrow Pebbles. Faced a tough task behind the Oaks winner Susie Sapphire in round 1 of the Derby last week, but stuck on well and passed all about Ted before the pick-up, because overall profile of 2 wins from 27 doesn't make great reading, but he could be a different proposition over 6 bends. And my idea of the winner here is trap number 6, Fiora Blake, for Graham Temple and Leo Temple, and I'll tell you why after the parade with Ian Fortune.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the runners on parade now for this 10th race here this evening. It's a 750-yard contest. 1 is Ross Rapid for Noel Devlin, the son of Druby's Buick, and Got the Edge. 2, Druby's Sadio, Robert Gleeson for Paul Allen, John Gilson, son of Druby's Biker and Druby's Hilda. 3, Molly's Princess for Barry Clancy, a daughter of Druby's Nidge and Casanova. 4 is Mildeen Onyx, trained by Frank Courtney for the M&H Racing Syndicate, son of Mildeen Panther and Mildeen Gem. 5 is Drum Duet Casper for John Durrigan, David Byrne, a son of Good News and Our Pebbles. And out in 6 is Fiora Blake for Graham and Leo Temple. This a son of Law Hill Blake and drummer at Queen. Trained by David Murray, wide runner out in 6. They are the runners for the 10th race tonight, the BoyleSports Live Casino Novice 750. They're on the way to traps.
Okay, well, we're here with Carl Ramsbottom. I suppose it's better to be luckier than rich. And Carl, you got a bit of luck tonight, but that's the way it goes.
A little bit of luck, Robert. Yeah, look, unfortunate what happened in the race, and I say, we got a bit of luck. We got through as after the finished 4. But look, we're happy to get through. Whatever way we get through, we live to find our day.
What did you think of your lad? Because he slightly missed the kick tonight.
Yeah, he didn't come away as well as he did last week, and he split even to third bend. I think he's back 17.50 or something, 17.19 last week. He wasn't going as well to third bend as he was last week. But look, again, when I seen the dogs stay strong run dogs behind him, I said we're in trouble even to hold on for quality. He doesn't really get the 550, but especially with them 2 class dogs behind him, he was under pressure to get. But again, if he had to come away a little bit better, he might have skipped a little bit further clear. But look, he's here, he's in the last 48, so we'll live to find our day. Now,
you've a runner in the race after this. It's our last race of the night. Are we going to get out with a few quid?
Yes, I backed them today, Robert. I backed them during the day, 11-4. I backed them at 5-2, 9-4. I expect this is a very good dog. We expect a good run out of him tonight, so you can fill your boots.
Lovely stuff. And the Destroyer, how is he?
Destroyer's in good order, so hopefully third will do tomorrow night again. Love to get a second dog show for Gary if we can.
Okay, well, lovely stuff, and best of luck tonight.
Thanks, Robert. Thank you.
Well, there you go. We're going to finish in a bang. He's backed it himself, and he's backed them to more than one price. Get on Carl Ramsbottom's in our last of the night.
Too late, Rob. The tank is empty. The money is done. The money is done. But yeah, he sounds quite confident there, so we'll be watching race 11 quite eagerly. Right, I was saying to you earlier on that I fancy trap 6 here, Fiora Blake. The reason for that is it's a novice 750. We don't know if some of these dogs will stay or not. I'm very, very confident Fiora Blake will get the trip. The reason why, I have a small dog at home myself, Chew Tobacco, and while he's no superstar, he's a strong enough sort when he's in front in A2, A3 grade. He won a 5.75 here a while ago, and he held a bitch that had won over 7.50. However, when he ran against Fiora Blake, although he did beat him, Fiora Blake went past him after they went past the line. So I'm pretty sure Fiora Blake will get the trip, and trap 6 is going to be my selection here. Ian, over to you for race 10.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. 5 for me, Drum Do It Casper. I really think he's screaming out for this trip. The runner is now in traps. This the 10th race in your card. It's a novice 750. The runners in 1, Ross Rapid. 2, Druppy Sadio. 3, Molly's Princess. 4, Mildy Onyx. 5, Drum Do It Casper. And 6 is Fiora Blake. The hare well on the way now for this 10th race. Racing, good start by 2 on the inside. Druppy Sadio leads into the bend. 1 up the inside, forced to check it. Stride 3 goes second. Molly's Princess on the outside. 6 Fiora Blake, and then comes 5 Drum Do It Casper, but past in the stands, and it is 2 Druppy Sadio on by 2 lengths. 2 in second. 3 Molly's Princess and 6 Fiora Blake. 5 Drum Do It Casper now trying to get involved into the back straight, and 2 goes on. Druppy Sadio from in second now. Trap 3 Molly's Princess under pressure from 5 Drum Do It Casper, who's flying into the penultimate bend. It's still 2 Druppy Sadio. 5 Drum Do It Casper checks up, and 3 Molly's Princess emerges at the main threat. 3 Molly's Princess from Druppy Sadio to the line. Molly's Princess, Drum Do It Casper running on again. Back in third is 2 Druppy Sadio. The winning time 42.27.
Thanks, Ian. 42.27, a good bit slower than our earlier heat tonight. Druppy Sadio was a little bit disappointing when leading, doesn't quite see out the trip, and Fiora Blake didn't see out the trip either. What do I know? Good performance by Molly's Princess. We did mention Barry's Clancy's runners have been running well around Shelbourne Park. Look, for all money, she was booked for maybe third at this stage, with Druppy Sadio out in front, and we have Fiora Blake looming up on the outside there. But she stuck to her task well. She's won her last 2 around Mullingar in fine style, coming from behind. I thought this was a step up in grade. She had won her last 2 in A5 grade, where some of these had been contesting A1s and A2s in their career. I still thought here that Druppy Sadio was going to hold on, but Molly's Princess for Barry Clancy just moves her challenge to the outside and wins going away in the end. Drum Do It Casper runs on well for second, and Druppy Sadio back in third. 42.27. Ian, 42.27, it's not a bad run for a 750. I suppose, just putting it into perspective, our first 750 was a very good contest, 41.46. But not a bad win by Molly's Princess there for Barry Clancy.
No, not bad at all. But, you know, the dog earlier on, JT Japan, has raced in really top company, whereas these are a bit more graded fair. Trap 2 Druppy Sadio, who was, I think, favourite downstairs, set a strong gallop, just didn't get home. Molly's Princess turned second, but for all it looked like Drum Do It Casper was going to be the main threat down the back straight, but his run sort of petered out a bit at the third bend. He didn't drive it and then got going again. If he had been second at this point, he probably would have won the race, but he checks up into the fifth bend here. You see he's a clear second at that stage, but checks up, loses his momentum, and all of a sudden he's found himself sort of 2.5 behind Molly's Princess, who carries her momentum, goes to the front, and then Drum Do It Casper coming again late to be beaten less than a length and a half. A good run by the winner, Molly's Princess. She may well win over this trip again. She'll find her grade. So too Drum Do It Casper. They'd be the 2 you'd take out of the race.
Yeah, thanks a million, Ian. So we're not going to have an awful lot of time after our last race of the night here this evening, so I think it's time just to look back, highlight of the night. Rob, if you're with me there, I'm going to start off. I think obviously Scooby's Princess was a brilliant winner earlier on. She flew from traps and held a strong Ballymac Wild. For me, that's probably one of the highlights tonight. What about yourself?
Yeah, she was brilliant, there's no doubt about it. But I was very taken by Jack's Little Thing. I know he's the high profile dog and everybody's raving about him, and he'd everything to lose tonight and nothing to gain, and after a few yards he was in danger of going out of this derby. But his track craft, he showed that he doesn't need to hit the lids every night to win. Obviously he'll need to go better than 29.71, but I thought he was brilliant tonight. He had to do it the hard way. We remember there's been so many Derby champions over the years that have had to do it the hard way in the early rounds, and he showed tonight that he can win despite not hitting the lids in open class company. I think we'll see a real Jack's Little Thing next week, but to me, yeah, he was sublime last week and we were all raving about him, but he definitely impressed me nearly as much tonight as he did last week.
Yeah, he was very good tonight indeed. I also thought Droopy's Good was very good. He clocked 29.62 in winning one of the earlier heats of the night. We thought the track was flying when he done 29.62, but in fairness to him, the time has held up all night. Scooby's Princess 29.40 is the best of the night so far, but that's still a good run. So Robert, I think you're joined by Barry Clancy after his bitch as won the 750. We might get back to that in a minute actually. Ian, Droopy's Good 29.62 in the first heat. We all thought the track was on fire, but in fairness to him, it just turned out to be a good run.
Yeah, I didn't think it was on fire. Like, he does 17.12 to the third bend, which that's the sort of run we were expecting to do last week. Just the track was back last week. He did a 17.30, so he goes 18 spots faster. You know, I rated the track 30 back last week, so I was sort of thinking the track was about good. I thought Jack's little thing could do a 29.30 off the bunny, and the way he ran, he probably would have. The highlight for me would have been the likes of Droopy's Good in the first heat. Thought it was a tremendous display, great early speed. Obviously Scooby Princess and Jack's little thing were very good, but you have to give a special mention to Andy Murray and Gort Kelly-Nester. What a tune he's got out of this greyhound through his career, and you know, you saw how much it meant to Andy. You know, the dog was a slight doubt earlier in the week, and he comes out and he beats Broadstrand Ryan and Ballymac Fairone, two absolutely confirmed top class performers with a fine display. There was nothing lucky about it for Gort Kelly-Nester. He hit the lids, he got to the front, he was challenged, and he dug again at that third bend and went on to score. And you know, that's a great story, Andy Murray winning with Gort Kelly-Nester. Yeah, it's definitely great to see the smaller man winning a big one here and beating some top trainers. Now, we've seen Molly's Princess get up late to win the last 750. Barry Clancy has arrived late for his interview with Rob.
Absolutely, yeah. We've seen two really good novice 750s tonight. We've seen the second of those with Molly's Princess winning it. And Barry, we see her form down in Mullingar, and she's coming from off the pace to win, but when you step up to 6 bends, it's hard to know what will happen.
Yeah, as I said, I only have her 2 weeks. I pushed her 2 weeks ago. She looked like she was staying, and the opportunity, seeing the novice 750, and looking at her Mullingar form, she was staying on. I said I'd give her a shot at it, and she ran well in the first trip around it now. Yeah. Happy enough. And I suppose the one that you had in front was the one you didn't want, Droopy Sadio, but in fairness, she'd no problem picking it up. No, she stays. Like, I had the brother. Right. He went to England afterwards. He's an out-and-out stayer as well. So look, at staying pedigrees in them, so hopefully she'll progress more for me now. And you must have had your eye on her a while. Look, I said I had the brother. Yeah. He had a lot of pace. She's only settling in, only have her 2 weeks. So we'll see what happens with her. And tell us a bit about yourself. You have many dogs? I have about I'd have about 8 or 9 in the kennel, and then I have a couple of 6 little pups there recently. So look, it keeps me going. You know what I mean? And it must be great to have not just a runner on a big night, but a winner. Yeah, look, it's great. Shelbourne's where everyone wants to be. You know what I mean? Look, I'm getting into them there, not that long into them. Yeah. I played League of Ireland and I retired, and I went into this then, and look, I love it. So yeah, you're a dab hand, and we might see more of her over 6 bends. Oh yeah, look, she's improving. It's an unknown territory for me. She's good. She'll improve. Well done, and enjoy your night. Thanks very much. Well, there you go. So Barry Clancy, pretty happy man here tonight at Shelbourne, and we might have a future 6 bend star in Molly's Princess. Yeah, not only is Barry Clancy booting in the winners at Shelbourne Park, I believe he wasn't a bad footballer for Shelbourne as well in his time, according to lifelong Shelbourne fan Derek Garvey, who works here at the track. Derek will keep you up to date all things Shelbourne Park, so he assures me that Barry Clancy was a decent footballer in his day, a little bit better than Ian Fortune, so I believe. So Rob, Tommy O'Donovan, you have him over there with you now. You're on double time here tonight now, flying with the interviews. Yeah, trying to squeeze it all in before 10:30. We're here with Tommy O'Donovan, trainer of Epic Hero. He didn't win tonight, Tommy, but that was more like the greyhound we know. Yeah, well, look, he's probably only ran 5 races since he won the Ledger, and he's had niggles and little problems all year long, and it was a bit of a rush even to get him to the Derby. And to be honest, when they were going up the home straight, I didn't care if he won or I came second. I just in my own head I said he's back, like. Yeah. So I'm just hoping now it's onwards and upwards now. Yeah, because we remember the Ledger he won, and it was a very, very good Ledger, and if this lad can get through a couple of more rounds, he could be a big player. Well, you just hope he's kind of, obviously doesn't have the race fitness as a lot of them. He's done no racing this year, he's had nothing but problems, so I'm just hoping now that things are coming right at the right time. Yeah, and he's in good form by the looks of it tonight. Yeah, look, that was the proof of it, the run he done there. I mean, and he should come on again, you think, but just delighted to see him back to what he was, you know.
and just fingers crossed now it'll stay the same for the next few weeks.
Well done for getting him back, and we look forward to him over the next few weeks, hopefully.
Cheers, yeah.
Well, there you go, Tommy O'Donovan. He's got Epic Hero back to his near best, and he could be a greyhound to follow over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and he's a couple of runners tonight. Tomorrow night, Pierno as well is one that we will be keeping an eye on. I've backed him anti-post. So runners are just about to go and parade for race number 11. It's our final race of the evening. We don't need to do much review or preview of this race because Carl Ramsbottom has told us Trap 1's going to win. Ian, over to you.
Yeah, first we will see is the Carl Ramsbottom trained Deadly Diego for Gary Hannon, son of Drippy Sydney and Lemon Lucy. Next in blue, Lolo's Fury, Ronnie Craven, a son of Headbound and Lolo's Ferrari. 3 is Cricket Wall for Donald O'Neill, a daughter quietly in Race Night Annie. She's 1 win from 2 outings. That came in her latest start at Dundalk. 3 or 4, Bocco's Newman, a dog who showed real promise in the recent resets open unraced. Tremba Graham Holland for Bev Lockheed, the son of Kinloch Bray and Singing Hen. 5 is Blue Rumble for Niall Deegan, a son of Overlimit and Ninny's Mazda, and completing the lineup in 6 is Rage Rover for Noel Devlin, son of Law Hill Blake and Beller's Sky. It is the 11th race in your card, the Pat's Cats, A182525. Big hello to Pat, who I believe is here tonight in the stands, judging from the noise earlier on when I called out the name of the race.
That's Cat. All right, thanks, Ian. So we did hear from Carl Ramsbottom. He was very sweet on the chances of his Deadly Diego here in this race number 11. He does represent Top Connections, Deadly Diego, and he has shown plenty of pace in the feet in a couple of starts already. He qualified well around Kilkenny and Shelbourne Park. Does need to brush up on his trapping skills, however, but that will come with a bit more experience. He's well bred and he's open to plenty of improvement. In Trap 2 here we have Lolo's Fury. Shelbourne Park regular, has won in good style in recent starts, but hence the struggle when up to this class. His wins have come in A4, A5, A3 and the odd A2. He has more experience than most of his rivals tonight, and that could count for plenty here this evening. Trap number 3 is Cricket Wall for Donald O'Neill, youngster of the lineup and the only bitch in the field. She qualified well around Cork and Dundalk and won an A6 in fine style there last month. She's open to improvement, but she will need to improve to take this. In Trap number 4, Bocco's Newman for Graham Holland. He's another representing Top Connections. He ran well in a very hot unraced stake here recently, and this looks like a slight drop in grade for me. He has shown good early pace and will look to make all and open his tally here. Trap number 5, Blue Rumble for Niall Deegan. Well, the Blue Rumble is certainly over for this year in Dublin, but here's a young dog on for 3 in a row. He's a good winner of an A3 and an A1 around here recently. Last 2 wins have come from Trap number 1. His draw is far from ideal tonight out here in Trap 5. And Rage Rover, the only wide seed, early pace tracker, as I say, with an ideal draw, has been sprinting against good company around Dundalk recently and will be looking to go clear early. Another that has a bit of an experience edge. So before I go to you, Rob, a quick show of betting here. Deadly Diego is 11-8. Next in we have Bocco's Newman, who's 6-4, and believe it or not, it's 8-1 bar those 2. I'm going to side with Trap number 4, Bocco's Newman. What are your thoughts here, Rob?
Yeah, I think you have to be swung by what Carl Ramsbottom says. It's one thing fancying your dog, but when you put the money down, and he's done it 2 or 3 times, I think that is a tip in itself. And you look at his form, he's a greyhound obviously who things haven't been going his way. He was slowly away the last time and managed to really catch the eye, finishing second and clocking 28.94. There's no doubt about it, Graham Holland's greyhound, he's a very promising pup and he's the one to beat. But I think if Deadly Diego hits the lids, I think Carl could be collecting tonight in a few bookie offices tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he mentioned he was on a 5-4, so the 11-8 looks good now about Deadly Diego. So look, it does look like it's a match, and these two have got they've shown plenty of promise without actually really taking off Deadly Diego and Bocco's Newman. The likes of Lolo's Fury, and he does have experience on his side, which could be huge in these sort of contests if he can come away and maybe post a 2:14 sectional. The likes of Deadly Diego and Bocco's Newman could find himself just out of the ground early. In fairness to Bocco's Newman, he does have a couple of decent sectionals. Like, he's only had the 4 starts and his sectionals range from 2:12 to 2:17, so he can go up quite well. Deadly Diego, on the other hand, seems to be that little length or 2 behind him on the sectional clocks. I think it's going to be a fascinating race. Don't ignore some of the more experienced runners, the likes of Lolo's Fury and Rage Rover, who does have some good early pace. Ian, are you going to side with one of the 2 joint favourites, Deadly Diego or Bocco's Newman, or have you got a different view?
No, I tipped up Deadly Diego. I think he is the right draw. Once he comes away on terms with Lolo's Fury, who won't be moving off the fence, have no doubt about that. But no, Deadly Diego really caught my eye in defeat on debut. He's beaten 6 lengths on that occasion, but it was a hell of a run. Look, not quite in the side in his last 2 starts. Bocco's Newman is strong, he's improving, but 4 is a worry for him. So I was comfortably on the side of Deadly Diego. And when Carol sort of gave us the nod and the wink, and well, unfortunately gave the world the nod and the wink prior to that race, it all points to Deadly Diego. I'm just concerned about that first stride. If he comes away on terms, I think he'll win.
Just before I hand to you, he's now 5-4 clear favourite. Bacchus Newman is out to 13-8. So the world and his wife are watching. Carl said he'd give us the winner of the last, so let's see. Ian, for the final time tonight, it's over to you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Barry. As you can see, they're in traps now. This is the penultimate race in your card here tonight at Shelbourne Park, the last race of the night on Talking Dogs TV. And there is the bell. The runners: 1 Deadly Diego, 2 Lolo's Fury, 3 Cricket Wall, and 4 Bacchus Newman, 5 Blue Rumble, and 6 is Rage Rover. The hare well on the way now for this 11th race. And racing, good start by trap 5 on the outside. Blue Rumble, 1 Deadly Diego up the inside. Then comes 6 Rage Rover, but it is 5 Blue Rumble who cleans the bend from in second spot. 1 Deadly Diego, 6 Rage Rover on their heels down the far side. Rage Rover and Deadly Diego coming with the charge, and Deadly Diego strikes the front of that third bend impressively, goes on by a length and a half to 6 Rage Rover. Then comes 5 Blue Rumble, but Deadly Diego, a promising type, leads off the final turn and will score for Gary Hannon and Carl Ramsbottom. Second is 6 Rage Rover, the winning time 28.70, but there's far better to come from Deadly Diego.
Well, congratulations and thank you to Carl Ramsbottom. He did tell us he couldn't have been more positive about Deadly Diego there, and he ran her blinder, didn't come away too well, showed good early pace up to the bend, and just failed to get on the inside of trap 5 there. Tracked clever enough for one so young, and down the back straight he unleashed a fine burst of pace to pick it up at the third bend. Trap 5 Blue Rumble runs well for Niall Deegan down into the third bend, as does trap 6 for Noel Devlin. Range Rover on the outside, and he sticks to his guns off the last bend. But trap number 1 Deadly Diego goes on up the home straight to win in quite a smart 28.70. There definitely is more to come from this son of Droopy Sydney. He's quite well bred, and I'm saying Carl Ramsbottom is very happy with that. Ian, he did tell us before the race, but I think all the money had gone down the drain by this stage.
Yeah, he sure did tell us. Nice display. Didn't flash out a trap, showed a good bit of early speed, was forced to sort of just mind his stride around that opening bend as Blue Rumble cut the corner, but Deadly Diego, once they straightened up into the back straight, just had superior pace. I think he'll go considerably better than 28.70 in the future. Just looking at him there, just wouldn't be surprised if he did improve his trapping and show good early speed. I think he's a dog with fine all-round pace, and I can see why Carl was a little bit excited about him. A good winner.
He certainly was. So that wraps up a fantastic night's racing here at Shelbourne Park. Don't forget, we still have 8 more heats to come tomorrow night, where Rob Catterson will be up here in the hot seat and I'll be trackside getting a couple of interviews if I can. Rob, you've got a fascinating card tomorrow. You have the likes of Jacobs, Tasha Delic, Explosive Boy, great name that, Ballymacbeanie. What are you looking forward to most tomorrow evening?
Yeah, just the entire card. It's going to be another brilliant night in the BoyleSports Irish Greyhound Derby, and as you mentioned, I suppose all eyes will be on Explosive Boy. His job's obviously going to be easier now with no knocking the bull Sid, and we'll be expecting him to pop out and do a 29, 30, 40 run, depending on how the track's running. You mentioned Ballymacbeanie. She was so impressive last week, and there's just so many big names to look forward to here tomorrow night at Shelbourne Park, and obviously live on Talking Dogs TV. But tonight was it ended on a high, and luckily Carl Ramsbottom has paid for the chips on the way home, so we go home happy.
You get the phone out, Rob, and get involved.
Just about, but I'm looking here and someone went 5-2 in the price guide. I don't know where that price came from.
Yeah, I don't know who does the price guides around here, but yeah, they're stealing a living. Is somebody laughing in the background? Ian, do you know who does the price guides? 5-2, Deadly Diego?
Yeah, the same fella, Tip Trap 1 to win.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, what Seldom is one of her. What's that, 1 from 12 tonight, was it?
No, I've a few.
Ian, just briefly, what are you looking forward to tomorrow night?
All of it, like that. Listen, it's hard to say you're looking forward to a 1-8 chance, but it'd be great to see Explosive Boy back in action. But you know me, Ballymac Ariel, I'm just hoping that she repeats last week's display. I think she's something special. But again, there's so many to look forward to. The ladies have been particularly impressive in this derby. Susie Sapphire is a real star. Really looking forward to her as well.
And just for tomorrow night, see can you get to your seat a little bit sooner than 6 seconds before the off of the racing. Thanks again to Ian. My thanks to Ian and to Rob Catterson. Don't forget, we're back here live tomorrow night at 7:30, and we have some fantastic racing. I already mentioned that Heat 10 Dearjet Sydney, Skywalker Barry, Penny Lane Sheba, Droopy's Yes, Romeo Magico and Beach Avenue, all of these dogs in the same heat. It promises to be some fascinating action here tomorrow night. We're kicking off again at 7:30 live on Talking Dogs. Thank you for joining us here this evening. I hope to see you all again tomorrow, and stay safe. Thank you very much.